Hey everybody, how are you doing tonight? Um, Hope you're all doing well. Uh, yeah. Oh, there, there we go. Hello. Thank you, Xenorath, for being here. Taco Light. Um, Night. Right. Said Rob. Thanks for being around. Katarana. Hey, thanks for stopping by. Really appreciate you being on the Amazon Lily panel last time. Kino Elise, yo, yep, Night Crew. Um, Better late than never. I guess, sure. um, Always on time. A wizard arrives only when he means to. Exactly right, Kino. Um, Nova Rose. Oh God, you found it. Ugh, whatever. I'm ignoring that. Hey, Fab White Boy. Oh, you were worried. Sorry to worry you. Didn't mean to worry anyone. Um, Thank you, Luke, Lexa Jellyfish, Lucas Jellyfish. Oh, Lucas Jellyfish. Sorry, I've read that before, but I just completely, I don't know. Thank you, Confused FX. I love the title, but what's the debate? How big is the pile? The pile? Um, can't wait for the pile. What pile? I'm gonna say something. I don't know. Anyway, Kobe, thank you for resubbing. It's awfully kind of you. Kelly, Smug Plug, thanks for being here. Feline Father, thanks for stopping by as well. Um, I'm doing okay. Thank you, Fab. Right Said Rob, thank you for resubbing. It's awfully kind of you as well. Prime, I'm fine. People say I always look at sausage. That's my face. Revolt Rise, working all those night moves. Katarana, you can actually see who is here. Yeah, I can see. Yeah. Um, I'm looking at the Twitch chat. Um, Behemoth, Destiny, Prime Debate went. I know. I haven't forgotten about that. I just have to study for it and schedule. I was going to schedule it. Actually, I was going to do it today on Wednesday night. But I found out Destiny was obviously doing the thing with Tom Foolery, so hopefully that went well. Biden is not my savior. But so I have to also schedule it. So whatever. Anyway, writes it up. Totally was worried. You were worried. Oh man, everything been all right. Haven't seen you on tonight. Yep. Everything's okay. Feline father. He said my man. What up, Uncle Joe? Senpai, I noticed you. Okay. Um. Says the person who didn't know you can see who's in your own chat. Okay, bye. Going to bed now. Oh, my love. Oh, thank you, Kino. Thank you for stopping by, even for a little bit. Really appreciate that. Uh, Destiny ended the rent control debate at the Tom Foley panel. Oh, I'm curious how that went. We need to set up a notepad that lives for that that that's live for multiple users, so we can feed you choices. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. That'd be cool. Or you could just like a group DM, I guess. Like a group DM in Discord would be literally that, I guess. But okay. Well, it looks like Destiny dominated there. That doesn't make me feel at all intimidated about debating him. It'll be great, I'm sure. Whatever. So here we are. Gonna talk about Biden, how terrible he is. You guys can jump on if you like. Um, Exclamation point open. Lets you know. It is an open walk-on panel where honest members like you, yes you, may participate. Join the Discord server. Go to the robot raid room. Said you can be let in, and there's a Discord link for your convenience. We'd love to have you. Yeah, so gonna talk about Biden and how terrible he is. It's a good subject. Tried and true, I think. Never fails me. But oh man. Anyway, yeah, here I am. If anyone wants to join me, be nice to have you. Jump on these nuts. I love you both, so I'm hyped. Oh, you mean for the Destiny and me debate? uh, I'm less hyped. I mean, I think I can do it, especially on this specific subject, right? whether money has a corrosive influence in politics? The answer is fucking yes. And it's amazing that Destiny is trying to defend any other point. I don't know how it's working, but the answer is yes. So I don't know. It should be pretty simple. But still, I have to come with sources. I gotta be like ready for whatever he's gonna throw at me. I have no idea what's gonna throw at me. But seeing his performance the other night when he was last week when we first talked about the subject, I wasn't particularly impressed. Like I've seen him crush people on like all kinds of stuff, right? I'm like, oh wow, this is really good. But he had more footing there, you know. I don't know why he's been taking a stand like for money in politics. I don't know why. So it'll be easy to kick his butt. He's not gonna show up. He's not gonna show up. But yeah, yeah, Katarana, he's not gonna show up. Yeah, I don't know. So, trans people in sports. Oh my god, no, please no, please no. We don't have to bring our trans brothers and sisters into everything. Behemoth, he's trying to justify his current political action. I don't know what happened there. Could someone tell me? I don't know what happened. Apparently Destiny was doing something with someone who's running for mayor. He contacted me. He sent me a message like earlier today, but then he like retracted it. And I didn't get an explanation. And I think he started his stream about it, but I couldn't watch it. I was doing something else. So if someone could tell me, like what that was about, I would like to know. I don't know what happened. Is he still helping this other person? This mayor type person? He literally deleted his DM to me. So I don't know. But thank you for the follow. But yeah. Yeah, his stance on PAC seemed weak. Yeah. The race or gender tonight. Yeah, we don't have to do any race or gender. Money is influential because it helps with the campaign. Yeah, exactly. Smugplug, something else. Which anime were you watching? Oh, no. No, I wasn't watching anime. No, I wouldn't. I would not be late to stream for anime. I wouldn't do that. I feel like it's a very important subject. No. Oh, you actually. Oh, you're serious about that. Oh, so hello, Chalupa. Yeah, no thanks. Because we've talked about that plenty of times, and yeah, we've talked about it a lot. I don't have to tell you, we've already covered that subject a lot. No reason to go over it again. I think the mayor disavowed him. Oh, I don't know. He was bringing people from out of state and paying for their hotels to canvass. People not even from the area. Why would they care about a local mayor race in another state? I mean, does it count like as an in-kind donation? I don't know. Will you? I mean, I don't know. Why would people care about Georgia? I don't know. Like, if there was a good candidate, I told him I was going to if he wanted me, I could at least like put the link out, like link to the campaign website, and like, you know, if there's a fundraising link, I could do that. Like, hey, everyone, go check out this candidate. You know, and give to them if you want. I was gonna do that much. I'm not gonna go to fucking Omaha, but not during a pandemic, definitely not. It might have been a fun experience. Like, even like if it's like canvassing for some person I don't know, might have been a fun experience just to, like, go to Omaha. Is this Nebraska, right? Yeah. I've never been there, so it'd been a nice experience. But during a pandemic, I'm not gonna do that. I can't risk my health or my family's health. Basics was that they wrote a hit piece ignoring his answers he gave. Just normal political nonsense. Oh, that sucks. Early stream. That's right. Goddamn right. Early stream. This is what happened. Let's check. Click on this link. See what's going on. TheGateway.com. Mark Gujal's controversial connection with Destiny. Stephen Bonnell to explain. I was not. It's not affiliated. Campaign must officially sever ties with the omni-liberal movement. Steve Bonnell in a statement on Tuesday after this article was initially posted. This article contains violent slurs and rape. What? Omaha Mirror is currently facing questions regarding Steve Bonnell II, a popular Twitch streamer and liberal advocate who is under fire for inflammatory statements he's made regarding the Black Lives a BLM. Oh, okay. Oh, so they didn't know who Destiny actually was. Okay, fair enough. All right. No, there was a big scandal. Okay, all right. I'm just curious to understand. Unless you have a VOD I can watch, I'm interested in other views on it. Not to argue about it. Fair enough. We literally argued about it. Talked about it. Was it last week? Chalupa. We talked about trans people in sports. I want to say last week. I'm not exactly sure when. But we did. We had a conversation about it. But like, yeah, it happens often. I think it was maybe. Friday night or Thursday night. I want to say Friday or Thursday night. Yeah. When we had that. So you can maybe check out there. We talked about a lot of trans issues and stuff. Okay. That's national politics though for the Georgia race. It's a local mayor race. Yeah. Probably better not to talk about on stream or whatever. Okay. If people don't want, I don't care. At the moment, still not a lot of fresh info and lots of speculation. Okay, fair enough. It's not a nice experience. Yeah. Canvassing is good, and Destiny should deserve much more credit for that. Get your damn hairline cleaned up, guy. All right. Hey, bye you. It's nice having you around. Anyway, if you are struggling, I can line you up. Okay. Bye. Yeah. Found out about the summer. Surprised there wasn't a similar reaction when it was Georgia. To be honest, okay. Destiny and the author of the article were exchanging emails before publishing the article. Okay. It is the "You Can Choose Your Gender" video. I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. You have to look for it. I don't know, buddy. But you can check it out. Check out the bots. You'll find it. It's in there. We talked about it for a long time. So, yeah, check it out. So, yeah. Like I said, it's an open panel. If people want to join. If not, then it's going to be a very short stream. That's fine. I'll just go back to bed. Yeah, so I was going to talk about Biden and the fight for 15. Oh, hey, Fab. What's up?
Hello.
Hey. I'll put you on stream.
So what? So which foolishness from Biden made you title the stream "Biden is shit"? Or is it just an overall statement?
It's an overall statement, really. It's the worst to live by, I think. Yeah, it's fucking worst to live by. Yeah, Biden is just shit in general. Fuck that. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. It's like it's not even. It's like beyond frustrating. It's infuriating. It's like, okay, like I was trying to be that person to be like, okay, give him a chance, but then it's like he's just fucking everything up. He's not doing anything right.
Oh, I feel good. No, I haven't debated Joe yet. I've been trying to do that. Well, hopefully we can do that in the future. But I haven't debated Joe yet. Sorry, Bagel. It's fine, Bagel in chat. I haven't debated her yet. But yeah, okay. So I guess I can jump into this. Yeah. My problem. There are many problems I have with Biden. There's a rainbow of problems I have with Biden. No, my problem with Biden right now, specifically, is what's happening with the $15 minimum wage fight. So last I heard, this was just a few hours old, unless something else has happened, which is a possibility because it's kind of a fast-moving story. But last I heard, he's not going to fight for it.
Yeah.
It's so. In case you haven't been following this. There in the COVID relief bill, there, I believe the House passed a version of the bill that had the $15 minimum wage in, right? But then the Senate, our good old friend Joe Manchin, it's just, oh God, I hate that guy. But a Democrat in quote, he is trying to strip out the $15 minimum wage. He doesn't want it there. It's like, oh, maybe $11 would be good. There's lots to say about Joe Manchin. But in any case, on the other side of it, trying to put it in. There's the Senate parliamentarian, like the Senate parliamentarian is like a staffer that like decides on like the rules and stuff of like what can and cannot be done within the Senate. But like it's just like more or less a suggestion, and whatever this person says, and I believe it's a woman, can be overridden, right? This person is saying, well, you can't put in this $15 minimum wage thing into the COVID bill, right? That's their advice. Yeah,
They're ruling on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they're ruling. Whatever. Like it's like it means fucking nothing, right?
It only means anything if the majority agrees with it, or the majority is unwilling to override them. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
they've only overridden the parliamentarian once, at least in recent times. I forgot on what it was about. I think it had to do with something about the ACA. It was a different part. I don't. It was the same parliamentarian. Yeah, it was. She was overridden only once before, and I'm pretty sure it was over something to do with the ACA.
Mm.
But yeah, like you said, Joe Manchin and Cinema are the reasons why they're not overriding, and they're not going to fight for it. They're not going to fight to keep it in there.
Yeah. Kamala Harris is the president of the Senate. She's the president of the Senate, so she can decide. Like, fuck it, she can just override this. She could just decide
to do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
then there could be what the issue with that is if she does that, then the Republicans can call a vote to override her, and then it becomes a worry of if Sinema and Manchin would side with the Democrats or if they would side with the Republicans. And so that's the other issue too. It's like she can do it unilaterally as well, but then you have the issue of will Manchin and Sinema agree with her?
Okay,
in that way.
So this is part of the problem. All right. One, Manchin and Cinema have taken the lead on this, and this always happens. Right? Because, and it's very simple. Joe Manchin and Kristen Cinema, right? And Kristen Cinema is newer, right? But Manchin's an old hat at this. He'll just simply say no to something that needs to get passed, and then so everyone caters to him. Well, okay, if Joe Manchin is saying no, then we've got to jump on this, right? We have to negotiate with them because this thing needs to pass, right? And so we got to talk to Joe Manchin. Let's bend to Joe Manchin's will. You don't have to do that. Like, you don't. Like Joe Biden is the president and not Manchin. And if you might have been confused about that, like, I understand, because they kiss this guy's ass all the time. Joe Biden, and I've said this fucking a shitload of times, like since he got into fucking office, I've been saying this, right? And there is fucking supporters like Grimace, who I'm gonna yell at some other time. We'll try to ignore my advice here, but like this is the obvious thing. Joe Biden has a bully pulpit. He is a president. He can go to West Virginia, right, and he can let his constituents know, hey, this guy is blocking us. He's blocking the COVID relief bill, right? So the checks that I promise you, which are only going to be $1,400, not $2,000, but the checks that I promise you aren't coming because of your senator, right? And West Virginia, one of our poorest states, he is blocking $15 an hour minimum wage. You could just do that. But no, like you could like make his life a fucking hell, and then go to Arizona, do the same thing with Chris Cinema. You have the bully pulpit. I would have a full court press. I would send out my minions, right? Like they have their minions to do this. They're to hit that, like you send out your friendly senators or whatever, right? And I tell them, go on all the morning shows. Like make sure everybody knows that it's Joe Manchin that's blocking it, and that me, Joe Biden, your president, desperately wants to put money in your pocket, and this guy's in the way. Do that. Watch him fucking crumble. He will fall apart. Like, he does this because no one fights back, right? And no one fights back because they're establishment Democrats, and they don't actually give a shit. Joe Biden doesn't actually give a shit. He doesn't actually want to put raise the minimum wage. He doesn't want to do it because he's not fighting for it. He could fight for it. He's not fighting for it. Captain Ajos, thank you for resubbing. But like, he's clearly not doing that. So hold on, why is it come up twice? That's weird. Anyway, but yeah, that's what I'm mad about. That's what I'm extremely angry about with Joe Biden. It literally, he has all the tools in the world necessary. And secondly, I'm mad at the progressive senators, right? Because they can fight too. They could just be like Joe Biden and Elizabeth Warren and anyone else who like actually cares about this issue could also say, all right, we're not going to vote for the COVID bill if it doesn't pass with a $15 an hour minimum wage, then we're not going to vote for it. So you got to come to the table with us too, right? They're not. No one's negotiating with Bernie Sanders because Bernie Sanders is going to vote for whatever the fucking bill is. So why would you? Literally, why would you negotiate with Bernie Sanders if he's going to agree to anything, right? That you put in front of him, right? If he's just going to reluctantly agree and put out a statement, oh well, we'll get him next time. Then why bother? Okay, ignore the progressives. Like we have them locked. You have to make noise. You have to make noise. You have to make trouble. That's how you get attention. That's how it works. That's how you build political capital, right? And people are afraid of you. That's how the Tea Party worked. The Tea Party, and there was another one after the Tea Party. There's another group of Republicans. I can't remember their name. But they were like extreme deficit hawks, and they basically didn't want government to run at all. But they would block votes. They would say no. Right? Things needed to get passed, and they would just say no. And then what would happen? Nothing would happen until the Tea Party was satisfied. And that's how they wielded power. That's how you wield power in Washington. If you just give them what they want, right? If you roll over for them, then no one gives a shit. You're not part of the conversation. This is killing me. Like, okay, so I have complicated feelings about Bernie Sanders, so I don't want to spiral into that right now. But let's talk about how Biden is shit and how like all those things he talked about on this campaign website. Like people were telling me, oh, everyone check out his fucking campaign website. Look at his fucking plans on his campaign website. Those plans are not a contract with America. He doesn't actually have to follow through with anything, right? Politicians lie on campaigns all the time. You know this, but for some reason, for Biden, for like when you're a guy on your team, a Democrat, you like forget this and you pretend like, oh, he didn't lie when he did lie. So he's lying right now to you. If you thought that he was serious about a $15 minimum wage, which he did promise, if you thought he was serious about it, this is him lying right in front of you. This is what's happening right now. Oh my God, I'm so mad. House Freedom Caucus. Thank you. Only Facts TV. That's exactly what I was thinking of. The House Freedom Caucus. Thank you so much. Yeah, they were the real troublemakers. The Freedom Caucus. They will fucking block everything, and people bend to their will. They got whatever they wanted because they.
Like Taco Light said, like we need Kamala to embarrass Manchin more, like last time. Like they need to use that bully pulpit, especially against Manchin. Like especially like. I don't understand why they are so seemingly, I guess, timid. I don't know if it's this whole idea about unity or if it's this whole wanting to be bipartisan or if this whole like wanting to do away with the whole Trump era and not being mean. I don't know like what they're like, why they're so timid. Like this, like Biden is just bent, just fucking flopping over on everything. It's insane.
What up, Eagle Eye? Eagle, you there, buddy? Hopefully he'll be there in a second. All right. Well, never mind. Hopefully he'll be here in a second. But yeah, just remind you, this is an open walk-on panel. If you guys want to come in, discuss this, we'd love to hear from you. Yes.
Sorry, I was getting my blankie.
Okay. Fair enough. Man's got to have his blankie. He's not prepared for stream. He doesn't have his blankie. Fair enough. Oh, did you get your haircut? Oh, no. Or did you just take off your hat? No. I've never seen you out of your hat. That's what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But
I forgot to put it on.
Well, you look handsome.
Thank you. So do you, man. You look good as all.
Thank you. It's not that they're weak.
Hey, listen, Fab White Boy, you're looking fly over there too.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me toss a compliment at you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to leave you out, buddy. You're looking pretty handsome there too. Yeah. But Behemoth says it's not that they're weak. They never wanted to do and to begin with. Exactly. No, Joe Biden knows how to be strong when he's fighting progressives, right? When they're actually fighting things that people want, not doing the bidding of his donors. Then all of a sudden he has a backbone. Him and fucking Obama. That's when they know. That's when he honestly forgot how to use the tools available to them. Is when they're fighting progressives, right? Oh, are you not betting to the little Wall Street? No, I have a problem with you. Now Obama has found his walking shoes, if you remember those. Yeah, a bunch of chats. I don't know about that. But thank you, Kata. Small panel. Well, yeah, well, it happens. It happens. But
soon it will explode. Soon one of us will say some sort of take, which will get like thousands of people to jump in and be like,
yeah.
Gambit's here though.
Gambit is here.
Okay.
Gambit is the
Here we
one.
go. Now we got it.
If you want like people to like get set off, my man Gambit, he can provide that.
First off, Prime, I have a gift for you.
Oh boy.
I just need your mailing address.
Okay, sure.
I got something in the mail today, so I just wanted to give it to you on stream.
Okay.
It's like one of the first copies of it.
No. Hold on. GSU, check. Hold on, GSU, check it.
Check my DMs.
Hey.
On where?
Oh,
Discord.
Oh no, it's not.
Oh.
God damn it. Okay.
I'm sorry to let you down. This is far off from that.
Is it better though?
It's far better. This is probably
Okay.
This is the best thing that like $8.77 can buy right now.
Okay.
All right.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Ready? It's a book. You see?
Yeah. I see. What? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
What?
Oh man.
This is one of the first copies, man.
Oh, thank you. I'm like really excited. Like, oh, what could it be? Fuck you.
I don't think there's a better gift.
No, thank you.
I can't see chat right now. I'm assuming that they're all upset.
They're all saying "go to hell" is what they're saying.
Let me join.
Hey, chat. Hey, chat. Say "go to hell." Like, let them know. Hello, Captain Ajo. Thank you for joining us as well. But yeah, we were. God damn it.
Sorry, I was laughing too hard at the fucking Jordan Peterson.
Hard eye roll. Yes, thank you, Matt. Hard eye roll. Yeah.
Oh my God, I love the comment from Revolt Rise. Imagine buying the first 12 steps and then finding out he was on a fistful of benzos and buying the second 12.
What's up though? I was up and I was like, yo, Prime's still streaming. I'll jump in for about 30 minutes, sir. So
still streaming.
What's up? What are we talking about?
Just started streaming.
You just started? What?
I started at 2 a.m. Eastern.
Jesus.
He's only been live for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
What's the subject for today?
I think we were talking
it says
about
Biden is.
We were talking about Prime K's thoughts on Bernie Sanders. Actually, he was going to elaborate.
He's based. He's based now, or
okay, all right.
What about the whole Mark Cudgel Destiny thing?
Oh, I don't know enough about that to talk. I'm literally like I was learning about. Someone sent me an article like when I started streaming. So I don't know anything about that. So yeah,
I'm not even sure what the controversy is.
Yeah, what is it?
Essentially like it's really bad because it was like essentially a local. I don't even want to call it a newspaper. Like basically
it was a student-run newspaper.
Exactly. I don't want to call it a newspaper. not to diminish student journalism, but to diminish
it. Fuck it.
To diminish student
journalism. Speaking as a former student journalist, I will diminish student journalism. That like essentially was just like a really just like horrible hit piece on him for no goddamn reason, and to the point of like because it's such a localized election and because those elections are decided by so few votes, Destiny in the interest of to like help that the person he's supporting had to I mean I don't know who did for I don't know the intricacies of it, but they had to like separate officially. Like
really?
Yeah.
So actually, there's a little bit more to it than that.
Yeah.
The person that wrote that article is actually endorsing one of the other candidates that's running.
Exactly. I mean, that's
so
again,
it was a heavily biased hit piece.
So the
Destiny wrote up like a whole article in response to some questions that this person wrote, and she took like one sentence out of like a whole document that Destiny provided. And so the whole thing was just like a smear piece against him.
I can't wait to talk to my buddy Destiny to tell him exactly about his arguments against Jordan Peterson on that. Jesus. Yes. Destiny, I'm coming for you soon.
Don't kick a wall down.
No, I hate to hear this happen to him, but this is the bad stuff that can happen. People can take one sentence out of context and make you look like a nefarious person. Yeah, I've never heard of people doing that.
Yeah, so I don't but hold on. So okay, I'll tell you a story. I'll tell you a quick story.
But that's crazy because he's actually trying to do a lot for this local election, and so the candidate distanced themselves.
So
yeah,
wow.
Officially, if you go to Mark Uddle's Facebook page, it's got like a whole thing there where he's like condemning Destiny's like previous actions and stuff.
Really that's terrible, man. Yeah. This is such a bad world sometimes.
So
I mean, but is it like okay? I don't want to I really don't want to debate Destiny, not debate, discuss him while he's not here. But just as a comment, is it not semi-hypocritical of us in terms of the cancel culture idea of because someone has said something bad in the past, now they no longer allowed to have a platform now?
I agree.
Isn't it? It kind of is, and I think that's.
You're saying that's bad, right? Not that that's good.
Yeah, I think it highlights a little bit of the hypocrisy that is with cancel culture, is that we allow some people a redemption arc, like Destiny, where he did bad things. We all recognize he did bad things, and he apologized for it, and he's done work to rectify that. But then other people who do that as well, at least in some cases, try to rectify and apologize for what they did. We are no, we don't. No.
Yeah, that's why I think cancel culture is
that's why,
cancer.
The
cancel culture is cancer.
The people who don't apologize, though, the people who don't apologize and don't redeem themselves absolutely deserve to be canceled, absolutely deserve to be deplatformed. But the people who have apologized, just keep saying his name. Yeah,
his name.
He's gonna come. I think every time Destiny's been mentioned while
because
I was here,
I think there's sort of two things with cancel culture. It's sort of if they've apologized, redeemed themselves, and are doing work to rectify what they did, then they shouldn't.
What's the mayor's name in that? I can't remember his name.
Mark Gudgel,
Mark Gudgel,
G-U-D-G-E-L. Yeah, G-U-D-G-E-L. Yeah.
I agree with Chad. The apologies have to be sincere. Yeah, and I mean, I think Destiny has done work to be so I don't want to debate whether or not his apology has been sincere or not. Or whether
you don't want to debate Destiny?
No, I don't want to debate about him. I don't want to debate about him. I don't want to did good work. He was doing good work, and he for that shit to ruin that is just
So I'm literally trying to avoid the subject here. You guys are the ones who want to talk about it.
Oh, you said you had a story though.
Yes, and I was trying to tell it, but you guys wanted to talk about Destiny.
No, go ahead. Tell the story.
Okay, so I was part of a certain protest in the past, right? And it was a big protest, and it had been getting national attention. I was part of one of the leaders in the protest. The thing is, though, the media was not kind at all to this protest, not even a little bit, right? So when they came around to film, they asked me for interviews. So I did how many interviews did I? Well, I did at least 3, maybe 4 interviews for this. But let's talk about the 2 for TV. So Fox, a Fox News affiliate, interviewed me, a local news affiliate, right? Interviewed me, and then ABC News affiliate interviewed me. They asked about so they were trying to paint it as people didn't understand the protests, right? The people there didn't know what they were talking about. And so they asked me a question about the protests, right? And then I went, because I do that, I do right? I was and then I jumped into it, right? I was okay, well, it's about this, and this, right? These are our aims, these are our goals, right? I watched the news.
Oh no.
And all it is me going,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's why if you do
They
anything,
were that slimy.
That's fucked up.
That's why if you ever do anything on the record with a reporter, record it yourself and then release the full unedited version.
You know who did that recently? I'm not gonna call his name. You know the London Times, and he recorded the whole thing.
Jordan Peterson. All right, got it.
No, I didn't say anything.
So hold on, what's the deal with Prime and Jordan Peterson? Does Prime, do you like Jordan Peterson?
No, I don't. He loves him, and I hate him. We've had conversations about it. Yeah, that's it. No, I think he's terrible. But yeah.
I'm sending you the book.
And the ABC, what did the ABC News do? He also misconstrued me too. I forget exactly how. I probably tried to excise it from my memory. So the Fox News guy, he was just a cameraman, right? Then thought it was important enough to send an actual reporter with it. So it's just a cameraman asking questions, right? And putting a mic in front of my face. But then the ABC affiliate actually had a reporter with a cameraman. And yeah, they also extremely deceptively edited.
Somebody just posted the thing in the chat, the video I'm playing. Yo, did you see?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. So that's the thing that happened. That really fucking sucked. Bullshit. I gave a full, complete answer. I was so mad.
Wow.
So yeah.
But did you?
But did I? But there's no proof. But there's no proof. So
that's what you say. That's not what the camera says. The camera says starry-eyed. Oh, I'm on TV.
Wait, I didn't see where the link I posted in chat with them.
No, I was joking with him.
Yeah.
Oh, goddamn.
That'd be hilarious.
But yeah, so that was my experience. That really fucking sucked. So I've had to have a bad taste for reporters ever since. But then but I also gave, I believe, 2 print interviews, maybe more. But I had a good print interview story. I actually got there was a piece. So I got interviewed for the actual thing, right? The actual protest. But then I made friends with the reporter, the newspaper reporter. It was a big newspaper in my hometown, right? So I made friends with the newspaper reporter, and she took an interest in me. And I was unemployed at the time, and she tried to help me find a job. And she wrote a story about me and this one other dude, an expose about my life.
Cool. That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that link.
Yeah.
That's what we want the. We want the origin myth.
Exactly.
That's what we need.
That's interesting. I only knew about you from the stuff that you have done with online politics. I didn't know that you've been active on the ground doing politics stuff. That's cool.
Yeah. I guess I don't really talk about it all that much. But and I don't link my name to anything that I had done, so no one can check.
Prime is a man.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to dox yourself or who you really are, but it's just cool to know that you actually have experience doing that on ground. That's cool.
Yeah. But I want to do more. I would have loved to go to Georgia to help out with that. I would have loved to do that. What's up, Revolt Rice? Nice to have you here.
Likewise.
But I would have loved to do that. That would have been a great experience. Going to Omaha, I think might have been an interesting experience. But
let's go.
But I won't.
Your Destiny said he got the hotel.
Apparently.
Well, no, he's probably not even doing that anymore. So did that thing happen today?
Yeah, it just happened today.
Yes, this morning.
It's a real I don't know. He looks beat up over it. He should feel beat up over it because it sucks. It's a shit situation for sure.
Yeah.
And
that's terrible.
Not his fault in my opinion. And
just yesterday on his chat, I was joking about going to Omaha.
Yeah.
Wow.
I say we continue to talk about it. It makes Prime uncomfortable. You can kind of see him wriggling in his chair.
No. It's just no.
Just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Because that could happen to anybody, though. That's terrible.
Yeah.
No, it is really bad.
Yeah.
I'm just laughing at Doobie's new emote in chat. The little fucking.
And the other thing is that means that future other politicians are gonna do this to Twitch people and say, "Oh wait, let me go. Maybe I shouldn't tie myself to them." Blah blah blah.
I mean, the other thing too is I don't want to say what I actually think about it because it makes me angry that the guy could have vetted him if they wanted to. It's not hard, and
hold on, what now?
The campaign could have vetted him, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Like the campaign could have vetted him, and like if they did for like even a half a second, you know what I mean? Like how is he supposed to know that
I thought he personally knew the guy. That was my issue. It was like, wait, I thought they personally knew each other, and that's
And
why.
how do you not know about like Destiny's most infamous comments? That just doesn't make sense.
Whose campaign did not do?
Well, if you're an offline person, then it's possible
Well, that's
you
the
don't
whole
know who
thing too. Is
Destiny
like,
is at all.
But he knew
the other two candidates suck so bad. Like it's like that candidate was going to do like actually work towards like improving the material conditions of the people that need it in that area. You know what I mean? Like and like actually like improve people's lives. And now they're going to get some asshole like that's not going to do that.
And I think it was more like the campaign might have vetted him, but they probably looked at what he said in the past versus what he said since then, and decided that you know what, he's probably doesn't mean the shit that happened back then, like he could help us out now, and he's like trying to do some type of good.
No, I think local campaigns aren't looking into things. Like we're mixing like local campaigns and national. I think a local campaign, at least where I'm from, they're gonna take help from anybody. If you're a voice that can get them support, they're not going to go look to, oh, is this person terrible? No, like, but I don't think I don't think Destiny is bad at all. I don't like
me neither.
But yeah,
I'm with you on that one, GSU.
Me too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I think that. It was also fresh off the backs of his campaign in Georgia, so that also looked really good. Like, hey, this guy actually like went out and put his money forward to go campaign in Georgia. This guy could help us.
And get a good positive result, right? I mean, like the Democrats have the Senate for whatever that's worth. But like,
and the other thing is the people in that city probably don't care
right
much about what happened anyway, and now he's like emboldened it because he's came out with a statement against Destiny, right? Like, unless their whole time.
I don't know the politics enough to like really say, but like my first take at it was exactly that. Is like the people that like if there's people that need like housing, there's people that need like have real problems. You know what I mean? Like they don't care, they just need help. Like they need like the government to do what it's supposed to do, and now they're not going to get that. Or maybe they will. Maybe the guy might still win. I'm not but it's like
I think it's
just a bummer. It's to see somebody trying to take the step. Like everybody always talks about, like it's just bullshitting on Twitter or doing whatever. It's like like you actually going out and doing something, like and putting up money, time, investing, reputation, and all that. Like wrapping it up in there and then having it yoinked away for essentially no reason is just like insulting and I can imagine very belittling for no reason.
Yeah.
But we've already seen this. So what we're talking about, we've literally already seen I've seen this before. This happened to Cenk Uygur from TYT, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
When he
and again too with Joe Rogan, right?
No. Well, I mean,
it happened.
I mean, I guess it did, but like,
it happened to Cenk, but it also happened to Bernie about Cenk, and they made Cenk like rescind his endorsement. Of Bernie,
right? So Bernie Sanders like did this whole thing where he was happy to receive Cenk Uygur's endorsement, but then like stuff came out like he had said in the past, but these are like stuff he already admitted to, right? Like it's stuff that had already come out.
I did not hear about this.
Oh yeah, it was a big thing.
I mean, the Democrats did that in Massachusetts
in 2016 or 2020.
2020.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was listening to a lot more Yang in 2020, but I was still like pro Bernie forever. But
yeah.
So
it came out, and then like I don't know. Like, did these people not know who Cenk was? Like, Cenk has always been quite honest about who he was and who he was before. Like, he used to be a Republican, like a shithead Republican. And he'll call himself a shithead Republican, right? He's honest about the comments. Like, he's like, I've made a lot of stupid comments before, and I've rescinded them all, right? He had already apologized for these things. But when they came out in the national media, started asking Bernie, and then Bernie immediately dropped them like a...
Well, this is the problem, though. People cede to the mob. Yeah. Like, and that's why the mob just gets stronger and stronger. Like,
we are cancel culture.
Yeah, like not we.
I would never.
But ceding to the mob is stupid. Like, and that's why, like, a little bit. I disagree a little bit of what you said earlier, Fab. Like, some people just like like there are things that should be apologized for, but there are things that shouldn't. And taking like somebody's political support and like trying to run a camp, that's not something people should apologize for. Like this man is an asshat to me. Like he should lose now.
There's
Like,
definitely like a lot of nuance there, but I was just sort of like kind of pointing out of like how cancel culture isn't something that's an absolute and has that nuance, like you're saying. Like it has, like you can't just apply a blanket type of cancel to every person who's ever done anything bad ever, period, ever.
Well,
like
it's just bullshit anyway. Most of the stuff is bullshit anyway. I mean, honestly, like if somebody says something wrong, right, but they do 99% good things, right? Like, you know what I mean? And, like, especially like, coming from the left, like I just hate it so much. Like, I mean, you know,
rehabilitation.
And there's certain people that like militarize it or like, you know, weaponize it and actually profit from it, which is like that's even extra gross, you know. But like you'll see, like, you know how
the
it goes.
crazy
like somebody says one thing and then it turns into somebody else's stream and then it's somebody else's stream and like the next thing you know, it's like a whole week of like this clusterfuck and then somebody's
and what is so crazy is that people on the left talk so much about rehabilitation. We want the prisoners to be able to vote again. I'm like, do y'all actually want that? Because your actions are just not like I don't see the rehabilitation on the left. Like I don't see it on the right either, of course, but like people
we clearly only want it, they'll vote Democratic. That's what we mean.
Oh, obviously. No, not even then.
Obviously.
Not even then. Even if your vote's with us, we don't give a fuck. We'll cancel your ass.
Well, that's the other thing too. Is like talking about getting people to vote for us, right? And then like during that entire time, do you come out with like this like accusing people of class reductionists, being a class reductionist? It's like we're talking about fucking getting people to vote with us. Like, yes, we're being class reductionists. We're being party reductionist. Like, you know what I mean? What the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, I think there's a serious problem with the left wing not living up to its own standard of like rehabilitation. We don't give anybody a chance. Like, come on, we could all be canceled for shit that we've done when we were 13 years old. Like come on, you know, at what point do we not forgive this dude Destiny? Like, I think he made it painfully clear after he made those comments, like that's not what he meant, yada yada. Like, it's really ridiculous how they're treating him.
Yeah, 100%. But I mean, the fact that like we live in a society, but like that is like willing to accept that is like, you know, a data point into whether or not you're a good person as a, you know, something that you can turn negative in a campaign is just ridiculous. Like the guys on stream and on camera like 10 hours a day, 6-7 days a week. Like anybody does that, you're gonna eventually say something stupid. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's just a matter of time. The fact that he's had so few incidents is remarkable, I'd say. Like that's, you know. It's crazy.
So what you're saying is there were people with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of content, and you could.
I know where you're going with this.
You could barely find something reprehensible that they said. And the only reprehensible things are just clip things that are out of context. More than likely that person is good, right? That's what you're saying?
I'm saying that like the saying and doing I have like totally different weights, and if they do good all the time, and even if they say something bad, I don't think it should count the same. Like that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, especially if they spend.
So I don't want to permanently be in this debate. I just wanted to come in because I heard you guys were saying that like the left doesn't give enough rehabilitation. Dude, if you think Democrats are leftists, you've been smoking crack rocks. I don't know what you're talking about.
Wait, no. The left. Wait. The left and leftists are two different things.
We don't.
Okay,
Democrats are the left on the left.
That's very cute. I too wish that I could live in a world in which I can consider Democrats to be leftist. Not leftist. The left. Fine. The left. Ooh, the left. Okay, they're not. They're not.
Everybody's conservative.
Yeah. Liberals are the far right party of any civilized like country. Like for real. Like there's no way.
So like the whole fact that I you know what, I don't care about Destiny, but like let me sit here and pretend as if I give a shit for 45 seconds before I go back to answering emails and doing other interesting things. So I just came in real quick. I just want to say like you guys were sitting here and saying that like the fact that Destiny is no longer able to help out with this campaign is like proof that like cancel culture exists. Cry me fucking river. Like, okay, first of all, like, okay, he can't help out with a mayor campaign. Whoop-de-doop. That means that, like, if that person doesn't let them on, that means that person doesn't deserve Destiny's help. So great, now he can go do better things with his time. Also, the whole idea with it being like cancel culture and the leftist just being trigger happy, that's dumb as shit. You know, it's because what do you call Democrats are into civility politics, and if you don't say the right thing this way, they don't want you on it. Like, but they're not the left. Like, it, saying that Democrats are the left is like when people try to say that the Nazi Party was socialist. Like, okay, whatever. Just because you like technically are, you know, you have the word socialist, or just because you're comparatively the left when it comes to the rest of American politics, doesn't make you the left on anyone else's scale.
We have to just do disambiguation here, right? So I generally agree with you, but like, yes, the establishment Democrats are not left; they are center right. Oh my God, we had a whole huge argument about this months ago. Like a massive fucking. It took hours for us to get through this. Yeah,
Wait, this is so silly.
yeah, see, it's about to happen. Anyway, but that's the establishment. Establishments, Democrats. But like, there's also the progressive wing of the party, right? That was actually left, right? And then there's
but like this Omaha person, were they the progressive, or were they just some like fucking like
they were vastly better than the other two candidates. The other two candidates are like neoliberal ghouls, and like they're not good. And,
no, but apparently you can't have an Overton window local to an area. There's this asshat take that's being said that, oh, you have to compare it to some global scope, and that's what about. Like, this is so stupid.
I mean, like, sure, man. Like, if we want to say like, you don't get it. Like, this one
I do get
branch of the Democrats are really progressive in Idaho because like they haven't been saying we should go back on gay marriage. But like okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm not an expert on that race, but like the interest for him was that he has property there, I believe. Like, he has a house there, and like that's where he's from.
No, this is what I'm saying. It wasn't
just like a random.
To say that, hey, you can't talk about the Overton window of America and American politics is like, it's just so dumb. Like, what's
like, even there's other parties, you know, there's DSA and stuff, right? Like, there's still socialists that exist within the US. So if we want to sit here and be like, yeah, Joe Biden's like a real leftist, like,
they have no power whatsoever.
They're ultra left and stupid, and that's why they don't have power.
Just because I don't have any power, does that mean I don't get to count myself as being a leftist?
They're super irrelevant. No, they're just super. Wait, hold on. As a person, okay, who has a European family, I go to Europe every summer. Okay, I deal with a lot of this in Greece. Okay. The people,
alcohol.
The people in Europe, if you guys were actually to go to Europe, Bernie Sanders would not be like a centrist in Europe or whatever.
No, but we're not talking about Europe. We're not talking about Europe. I don't know why I bring up Europe.
But when people compare the like spectrum to the rest of the world and say that Democrats are like,
there's not a global election.
It's not a global election. Yeah, we're talking about U.S. Hopefully, we can move the Overton window far enough to that's an issue.
If you're a person that's on the fringes of the left, just acknowledge that I have an ideology that most people don't share. Luckily, most people don't share it because it's usually a dumb ideology. And that's just that, like, hey, I'm super left, but that doesn't mean other people aren't left because you're super left. Like,
coming from the guy that loves Benzo Boy, son.
That's true though. It's true. Libertarians accept that shit, so y'all should accept that shit too.
Damn.
Absolutely love
him. We need to. Cheers, you can, but we need to get Katarana here on the All Black Everything panel. I think
we do
very well.
Yes, I said this last time we were on the panel together.
Yeah, I know. I would love to, but I think you're busy tomorrow night. But like,
you didn't say it to my face. So even if you want me on All Black Everything, if you don't say it to my face,
but you're busy. You're busy. You told me you're busy.
Yeah.
You were here for like 20 minutes, I think, last time, and we were like, "Yo, you cool."
Yeah.
I still think you're cool. I don't agree with socialism, but that doesn't mean
we had her on Amazon Lily, and she was great. But yeah, we'll have you sometime in the future when you're not busy.
I don't know. Call my agent, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
But
people call my people.
She's too busy trying to prophesize about socialism.
Okay, look, all right. So I'm gonna
doing my job.
I'm gonna like back Katarana up here. And thank you for joining us. Really appreciate you jumping in, even though you're supposed to be doing work.
Damn, you kicking me off. Okay, bye. Have a good panel, son.
But yeah, no, I'm not kicking you off. I'm backing you up.
Okay.
So Bernie Sanders. So first of all, I don't see the utility of like comparing like American politics to like the rest of the world. Yes, we can agree that our politics is farther right. Okay, sure, whatever, right? But beyond that, it's true that most of the Democratic Party is establishment, right? If you talk to Democratic voters, right, clearly they have many of them have a lot more establishment views than they have progressive views, right? But if you poll individual issues, right? These issues like of raising the minimum wage, right? Which is not a liberal stance, but it's a progressive stance, and that's extremely popular. If you poll individually on these policies, they are popular within America. That's without a doubt. That's true, right? But still, that doesn't mean that the rest of America has bought into the entire worldview yet, right? And that's okay, right? People are expecting like Justice Democrats should have already taken over the Senate and the House by now, right? They should have already taken over the party. No, these things take time. This is what building a political coalition looks like.
Well, that's because a lot of people are inside of echo chambers and they start to think that their ideas are more agreed upon than they actually are.
I actually mean from the other side. Other people are criticizing them because they're like, well, this is clearly a sign of your failed ideology, right? If automatically everyone hasn't switched their voting habits.
Oh yeah, that's stupid too. Yeah,
obviously,
sure.
Right. So no, I think that the Democratic Party, yes, is mostly center right within its political leanings. You can see that from what they advocate for, what they actually fight for, which, as I started off the stream, isn't $15 an hour minimum wage, right? They're not actually fighting for this. They're happy to let this die because they're fucking liberals, because they're center right. So
I don't know. Well,
it was put in there as a bargaining chip. Let's face it. And I think, I mean, like when I saw that the Democrats were putting $15 an hour minimum wage on the table as a bargaining chip, that's exactly what I saw it as. I did not see it as the Democrats fighting for $15 an hour minimum wage.
No,
what I saw it as is the sign is that the Democrats are finally learning just a little bit how to negotiate, and they finally are putting it to the Republicans and like saying like, all right, motherfuckers. All right, we're going to put a $15 minimum wage on the table. You're going to have to get it off the table now. Fuck
no,
you.
No. What they did is they wanted the Bernie supporters, right?
I'm going to go back to answering my emails, but if I hear you guys say anything else that's wrong, I'm coming back. Okay.
Keep it on.
Socialism is bad.
GSU is going to make you come back.
I'm going to make you come back. You're not leaving.
Bye.
Socialism is really, really bad.
Oh boy.
Luckily, there are no people who agree with it.
Okay. All right. Oh boy. You know how to trigger me.
Change my shirt because nobody complimented my crop top.
One thing I want to push back on is
I noticed the crop top, but I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want to.
You were wearing a crop top? What? Why?
I was wearing a crop top.
Yeah, he was wearing a crop top. He had his tummy hanging out and everything.
See, I'm not the only one that's
hanging out. I have a six-pack abs. Thank you very much.
I'm not the only one that thought it was
look kind of like some flaps to me.
Listen, you look good, Cat Dad.
I can't talk. I got quarantine way too.
Nico,
I like the tattoos though. I'll tell you that much. I saw the.
Hey, I like them too, bro.
Nico, you want to say something?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say one thing I want to push back on is the notion that the Democratic Party is center right. I guess I would ask you, like, why do you say that, I guess?
I mean, because they'd be far right in any civilized country.
Yeah, I think what he meant is center.
During the comparative thing, we don't need to do that.
That's not true at all, though. That's why I wanted to bring up the thing about Europe, because if you actually go to Europe, there are literal Nazi parties that openly run, especially in like Greece or like France or like
Poland.
Germany.
Again, I don't see how the utility.
Yeah, we just had a nationalist party. Like comparing the liberals to the nationalist party,
we had a Nazi president. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying people. Hold on. People like to say that in Europe that the spectrum is like some like super left or whatever, and that Bernie Sanders would be a centrist in Europe. That's just not true.
But look at the difference, though. You just said that they had a Nazi party or something that runs, and we had a Nazi president. So like,
okay. I wouldn't say Trump was a Nazi in the sense. Hold on.
I'm memeing, dude. Don't try to fight.
Okay. No. I was just gonna say that, like, actually, like, Okay, you remade me, so now that breaks my fucking point. But I was gonna say that, like, yes, like in Europe, like we do have openly Nazi parties that run. We also do have like openly communist parties that run.
Right.
In Greece, there's like a super big communist party, KKE. In France, there's a guy Mélenchon who got like. There's a guy in France, Mélenchon, who got like a good portion of the votes in 2017. So there's both sides of the political spectrum, and I know Prime.
Yeah, but
you don't want to compare that, but okay.
But look, but this is obvious because our system of government, right? The fact that we have a two-party system enforces a moderating effect on the parties, right? Like so like it's harder to have those extremes, right? Like we don't have like if we could have a viable Nazi party, we'd have a viable Nazi party, especially right the fuck now. If we could have a viable communist party, we'd have a viable communist party. Because or a socialist party, right? Because a lot of people are interested in it now. But currently, we only have the two-party system, and it moderates all that. It makes it very difficult to move farther on either side, right?
There's only 10 people interested in socialism.
Okay,
issues
all
are
right.
what issues are Democrats center right on?
Okay.
Like I'm genuinely confused about that point.
Like so much stuff.
So
like
Wall Street regulation, Wall Street deregulation. We'll start with that, right?
Letting kids starve, like not getting us checks, like not having a central, healthcare. Like,
lack of support for not having socialized healthcare, right? Instead, looking for the market for ideas. Yeah, okay. I could just start reading you quotes from President Obama, right? Fuck, I lost the other thing I was going to say.
Even the Tory party like has socialized medicine, right? Like at least you know what I mean. Like come on, like we're not doing great.
Wait, hold on. It's not that the Tory party has socialized medicine. It's that system's already been in place, and the Tories are not just gonna go in there and just completely privatize it or get rid of it. Like that's not how it works.
And I had to piggyback off that real quick.
Our Democrat party did that here, though. We just did that.
Hello,
for everybody.
Hello, sorry, your name is Ba.
Yeah, I was like on here before as Young Cardi, but like I rebranded.
Okay.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
A mystery guest.
Okay. Hold on. Do you know what Baja Blast is?
Yeah,
it's like like a drink, like a fruity, like a
soda ever created. The only reason to go to Taco Bell,
and that's why you get the freeze when you go to Taco Bell.
Oh, all right.
It's the best version of the Baja Blast.
All right, this is what we need. This is the revolution. Is that Prime doesn't know what the Baja Blast is? This is
I'll
going to
send
cause
it to you with the book,
in this chat.
I'll send you a Baja Blast freeze with the book.
Yeah,
they have canned drinks. They have canned drinks now.
Wait, GSU, I'm curious. So wait, you actually like Jordan Peterson?
A lot.
What do you? I don't want to dive into this, but what do you like specifically about him?
No.
I don't want to ask you about it, but let me ask you about it.
Yeah, that's a conversation. No thanks.
Jordan Peterson is the greatest individual in the
Oh my god! Can we go back to my question? I had a question for the electoralism haters in the chat. I had a question.
I'd rather keep Nickelback and send Jordan Peterson back to Canada.
Let's focus.
Canadian too, so please, we don't claim him, okay? We don't claim Jordan Peterson.
Nico, if you want me to answer your question, let me answer your question.
Sure, yeah,
all right.
Sure.
There are non-support for unions, right? They'll definitely go to them when it's election time, right? And they'll make big promises, but looking at their actual voting records, looking at what they've actually provided for unions, they clearly don't support unions. Where the fuck is card check, President Obama? Where the fuck is card check? Where were you again when you said like when unions are in trouble? This is President Obama. I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna put on my comfortable walking shoes and I'll be on the picket line with them. Well, when Wisconsin had that whole big fight with unions and their Republican governor taking away their power, right? President Obama was nowhere to be fucking found. Not a peep out of him because he didn't actually give a shit, right? Yeah, that sounds like a center-right candidate to me.
So is this the candidates being center-right, or is this the constituency?
No, sorry, the party itself. The party itself, because the party itself is not giving support. Now they'll maybe put something within a platform, right? And people are like, oh, it's in the platform. The platform doesn't mean a fucking thing. The platform are like your that thing that you'll find like little girls do like a dream board or something, right? Like this is what we'll do one day, right? Like that's all it is. It means fucking nothing. Fuck all, right?
So here's my question though. So like how much, like I can't get into the specifics. I can't answer to everything that you just brought up. But when you talk about things like their position on healthcare making them center right, like how much of that is Democrats being center right, or how much of that is like their constituency that they have to appeal to not being in favor of these things?
It's Democrats.
Oh, there's a bunch of people in the United States that are for. It's not about that shit.
Because when we look at how these people like poll, like they, of course, no one's gonna say I don't want good healthcare, but like when they ask questions about Medicare for all or other single payer things, like
they call
it turns out that they don't want higher taxes, so they say I don't want that.
Yeah,
right.
That's the fault of the Democrats though, because you're saying it's their fault. Is that really their fault?
I didn't say that. That's not what I said.
But you blame them for being center right. So I'm just confused.
For being center right, but like that's.
But they're center right because the people don't want it.
You're confused. No, but the people want it. No, what? Like,
no, the people don't want healthcare. So, and you're calling them center right because they aren't fighting for single.
Again, if you poll people on a Medicare for all, right? Most of the country wants Medicare for all. But if you can ask a question within a certain way in which support decreases, right? So yes, talk about the taxes, right? In this country, we are very tax phobic. We have a general idea that taxes be bad, right?
Yeah, and it's pretty cringe. I agree.
And yes, and if it smells of a tax, people are like, well, I don't know, right? But if you literally explain the issue to them, right? Like Bernie Sanders kept doing during his campaign, saying, sure, you're going to pay higher taxes, but you'll be paying less overall because you're going to get rid of your premiums and your deductibles and all that. All that's gone, and the overhead and the stress, all that comes with it for higher taxes, and you'll be coming out ahead for it, right? That's how you do it. But if you scare people, right, and people are easily frightened with things they don't know, right? This is a brand new thing. Most people don't pay attention close to politics. They don't know exactly the details of these things. So if you scare them, well, then they'll be frightened. So voters are easily skittish like that for new things. So
I think how you introduce things is important too, because see, I was a Bernie like single payer guy, and like one of my really close friends was like, why don't you support like having like, you know, private options and all of that, blah, blah, blah. Just make it a public option where people can opt in. And I was against that at first, but I think I'm for it now. But I think the way you present these ideas determines how voters will vote for it, for sure.
100%.
For sure.
Nico.
So here's my
what was it that changed your mind on it?
You say what now?
What was it that changed your mind about the private option?
So I feel like there are things that I've engaged in where it's like you want all or nothing, and the approach of if it's really a good idea, introduce it, and if people flock to it, then like it'll become like the norm, right? I think that's
what if the only way for it to actually succeed is for there not to be a private option?
It's not succeeding right now. Like if we talk about Bernie's plan, which is the one that slashes private insurance, if I'm not mistaken, like that's the plan that seems to be controversial. That seems to turn people off because they feel like they're losing something. And I'm more concerned about the political feasibility of the bill as a whole, which will help if there's still allowed for like, you know, private insurance. Like it'll help it come into reality.
It won't more than just reality. They put $500 million of lobbying money against like like the insurance companies did, and like they pay off all of our senators and our representatives. So you'll never ever get anything besides the system we have unless you abolish the fucking companies that are doing the corruption first, because you can't get rid of the corrupt politicians, right? Because they're endemic now, and this place is such a shithole that we can't possibly fucking come up with any solution to do any better. But like you just can't fight it. Like they fight it like
you don't think TV. A public option is better than what we have now?
Yeah,
a public option is completely shit, and it's going to be shit on purpose. It's going to be so shit that it's just barely better.
It's impossible for it to be good.
That's not what I asked you though. I asked you, do you think it's better than what we have now?
Yes, it'll be better. Anything's better than what we have now.
I have to hold on. I have to push back on this because just from a matter of empiricism, Bernie Sanders' plan would be one of the most like radical healthcare policies in the entire world. Okay.
Why everybody says that, but we're keeping.
No, that's the truth. No.
Bernie slashes private insurance.
Hospitals. We're not privatizing any part of the system at all except the payer.
Bernie Sanders' plan would abolish private insurance, and that's even for dental and eye care. What?
It would pay for everything.
This is not what
you're getting.
There's no system like that on the planet that operates in that function that has been proven to work. Like even the German healthcare system, is a mix of private and public health insurance.
Is that a good argument?
Why I think our healthcare system's really expensive and shitty?
Wait, none of the. Hold on.
What do you mean they haven't been proven not to work?
But what is your point? Sorry, Nico, what is your point in saying that it's the most radical? Let's say this is the case, but what does that mean? I'm just curious.
That in the countries that have some of the more successful healthcare plans in the world, they haven't even abolished private insurance.
Yeah,
that's the point.
And that plays into political feasibility, which is another thing I like to add on that has to be factored in. Like, how do you guys, if it's more radical, inherently it's already like slightly more infeasible to like pass through, especially America's Senate. So
we can add back to
like
insurance. We just need to get rid of the current insurance companies in order to get it passed in the first place. That's the problem.
Oh boy, I'm going to have argue with a kill sign too. I knew when he came in here, he's like, oh boy. I fought him on this specific topic. I'll fight fucking everyone. I'll fight the entire goddamn panel.
So you're for abolishing private healthcare?
Me?
Private healthcare.
Okay.
No, wait. Yeah.
Can you say the people's names and not just you? Because 5 people have given a take, and so can you say?
I'm sorry, I was summoned because I was hearing dumb shit again. I apologize. I'm sorry. What kind of dumbass fucking thing are you saying about healthcare?
PIS webcam was done.
Pardon?
He's making fun of your webcam.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever, man. Go find followers. Anyways, hello. Bonjour. So yeah, what were you saying about healthcare? Because there's a lag, obviously, so like I might be a couple seconds behind the last thing that you said.
Okay, so we were talking about healthcare. I was right and they were all wrong. Kyo-san was going to give a take talking about the Australian system. Well, the Australian system, we still have private, whatever the fuck. Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is that? Is that an Australian accent?
Yeah, that's exactly an Australian accent.
That accent was almost as bad as
I thought I was hearing. So is the logic just because people are allowed to pay for healthcare in other countries, and that means that being able to pay for healthcare means that must always be the system? Like, you can't have a mixture of both?
No, it's even worse, actually.
I thought you were going to yell at me.
Okay,
I like this take.
Yeah, so when you go to middle school and stuff, and your parents can't afford food, they have the free lunch, right? So does that mean that I shouldn't be allowed to pay for because free lunch exists? We should get rid of it because they still have lunch over there that you pay $3 for. So everyone just fucking eats shit. Is that the logic here?
No,
I don't think it's a logic at all.
Yeah,
I think it's pretty hyperbolic.
Well, this is pretty incoherent.
But the thing is like
there's always in every system there's always some form of socialized thing, and like I'm not sure if you're
That's not what we're talking about.
You're attacking like a completely wrong thing. You can attack something that's not the right thing.
Yeah, you can attack this, but we don't know.
What is the right thing?
Hey,
what is it?
All right, so hey.
No, we're
hit this real quick. Right?
Okay, all right, hold on. Let's try to reset. Let's try to reset. Okay. We'll jump at this again. So my problem, you were asking me Gambit, right? Like am I for getting rid of private insurance? Yes, but I thought the exception that Bernie Sanders made within his plan was reasonable. If there are services that are not covered by the socialized by the government healthcare, right? Government insurance. That's a very important difference to make. The government insurance, then yes, a private insurance can come in and cover it, right? So let's say you want insurance for like plastic surgery or something, right? Like then that's great. Or other things, something else that for whatever reason the government is not handling, then yes, we should have a private option to handle that. That's not a problem for me, right? But that should not be your first and it shouldn't be your only option is a private option because we see the disaster that it is currently. So that's my response to you. So
you're for his plan completely still, because I used to be, and then I migrated.
Okay. Well, then you got lamer.
No, but I'm asking you.
I'm for the plan. I'm for the plan.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Kyo-san, you want to say something, and then we'll go to Feline Father. I see you up there. Yeah. Go ahead, Kyo-san.
Okay. Cool. So in terms of like, if we're talking about like wholly public versus private versus mixed systems, generally for the US, right, what I advocate for is very much for a mixed system. There are a couple of reasons. Like one, political efficacy. We know that this is going to be like significantly easier to pass than like a whole system. Two, that you're going to offload some of the cost of the initial system to the private payer. So you've got people who want to pay for private insurance. There are people who just want it, who like when they see that private insurance is being taken off the bill, they will say that no, I don't want to vote for this anymore. That people are very attached to their private insurance in some way, right?
Because they never had to use it though.
Yeah, well, like some people just want to pay for their healthcare, right? They have like some conception that once they pay for it, it's going to be better. Now we know from data that's not necessarily true, but like if you want those people to pay taxes into the healthcare system and then not use the healthcare system and pay for their healthcare, and they're wealthy enough to do so, then why not, right? That like, so by like offsetting the cost with these people, you're actually going to be able to set up 3 national hospitals. That these are going to be hospitals that America directly owns, that can run and can hold the cost better, because they're not going to have to pay for a middleman. They're going to have to pay for someone who owns the hospital. They're going to be able to directly cut the cost themselves, right? Because what you want is to create like a nice curve. Because like if you just go straight to like saying like all public, it means you're going to have to like lump the curve straight on top of like the existing structure. And what you want to do is offset some of the costs so that you can build your own infrastructure to build into, right? So it's popularity, it's taxpayer offset, and it's building efficacy.
Okay, what about this? And feel fine, we are going to go to you. But what about this, Kyo-san? We create the government insurance, right? We create that. And then we give literally everyone access to it. So like everyone is on the roll, right? But like we don't get rid of like Aetna, we don't get rid of Blue Cross Blue Shield, like the big insurance companies, right? No. We don't get rid of those, right? They're not immediately banished. But everyone has the option, right? It's not a public option, but like everyone, you'll automatically be enrolled, and so you can go to the doctor and use that insurance. But if you would like to continue on to your plan, right? If there are certain other people who would like to continue on to your plan, paying for some fucking reason, then they could. How about that?
That's absolutely the system that I advocate for. Is it just allow people to pay for things that they want, right? If they want to pay their fucking health, and they're stupid enough to do so, let them do it.
The reason why I don't like this system, right? Because I've argued with Kyo-san about this before. The reason why I don't like this system is because money in politics is still a thing, right? The reason why within a socialist system you smash the capitalists, right? You have to defeat them. You have to take away their tools, or else they will come back.
And the only way
vengeance.
to do that is to abolish them, because it wouldn't happen otherwise, because the ideas are bad. I agree.
Because your ideas are bad. But like your idea right now has bad, and you put a fair plan. No health insurance, and like 50,000 people going bankrupt every year.
Let me finish this point, then we'll go to Feline Father.
Hell yeah.
But like the problem is that you leave that lobby in place, that powerful lobby, that very well moneyed lobby, that's already shown its muscle on that's constantly showing its muscle on Capitol Hill, right? You leave them in place, what they will do is they're going to degrade the system, right? They're going to be paying fucking the Republican Party, right, and the Democratic Party, to be honest, everyone they can get their hands on, to degrade the system, just like you see that they're doing with Obamacare. We see that happening in real time with Obamacare, right? Politicians doing everything they can. One party dedicated to destroying it. All right. And that was a Republican plan. But it threatened, but it threatened the profits of those private insurance even a little bit, and so they came up full force against it. So if you leave them in place, hold on, let me just finish this point. Once you leave them in place, they will come back. They will dismantle the system. So you have to take away their tools. So you have to dismantle the entire industry. It has to be done.
But Prime, I think what you're pointing out is part of the problem. Okay. And I don't really agree with it.
Feline Father, bitch, it ain't your turn. Anyways.
I'm dancing over here.
Yeah, so like
I'm just happy because health policy is my shit. I love it.
So you're pointing out part of the problem and why people don't want to give that power to the federal government, because they feel like other people have control over the destiny of it. And that's why some people like the private thing. So the private thing, they may be paying for it, but at least they understand that I'm always going to get what I'm paying for.
No, you won't.
Whereas,
but you won't. That's not the case, right?
No,
we know that.
You have more control than
you have no control.
You don't have
Once
control.
You get sick, they deny everything. They'll deny everything. I had health insurance, and they whacked me $170K for having an asthma attack.
They deny.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
Sure.
You have more control.
You don't have control.
Than if politicians are changing.
You don't have control.
You have the illusion.
It's an illusion of control. You don't have control. No. First of all, most people don't get to pick their insurance, right? It's whatever their job has. Whatever the plan they have is the one you get, right? Yeah. And if they decide to change plans and that fucks you over somehow, good fucking luck, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
I'm just saying, but I'm saying that. But I understand what people think they have control, but they don't have control.
No. I think maybe control is the wrong word.
It is.
But maybe like things are.
It is.
Things. I know. No, it is. It is. You do have more control. Like.
No, you don't.
Like the Republican Party saying that, hey, so imagine we have a Bernie Sanders plan right now, right? And imagine the Republican Party says, yeah. Now imagine the Republican Party takes over the Senate and they say, we're no longer going to do left knee surgery, right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like that type of.
You shouldn't vote for Republicans.
Okay.
I don't vote for Republicans.
Under the Bernie Sanders plan, then private insurance could take over. That's already in there. It's already in there.
Exactly. But then you would need to buy private insurance.
You were going to do that any which way, though, right?
No. But this is what I'm saying.
Okay.
So you could just pay for the private insurance.
Okay.
Or you can have to worry about what weird thing is the government not going to cover, and I got to pay for all of those different insurance.
So this is not like a real thing we have to worry about, right? Because one, there is political backlash to that, right? So what like the bigger, the better example of what your argument here is what Mix Fabian Wolf did. I haven't forgotten you about you, feline file there, I promise. But like the better example is what she presented to us when she was here and arguing with me, because underrepresented groups like the trans community, right? Like their coverage, their things might not be covered. So like their hormone replacement therapy, that I could see Republicans fighting them on, right? It's a small group that they hate, that the rest of the public is like maybe fine with, but it's not going to fight for, right? Like, yeah, because the Republican Party, they're fucking bullies, right? So them attacking them through healthcare, that I could see. Even in that case, still you have private insurance, right? Even in that case, you could still possibly be covered. So again, Bernie's plan wins. So I'm gonna go to Feline Father. He's been waiting very patiently.
Hell yeah! Hey everybody, Feline Father, Josh from Zerbal here. So I just want to start off, right? So healthcare policy, I love it. It's my favorite thing. I love talking about this shit, right? And like something that I really like to bring up in these conversations that nobody ever talks about for some reason, is like the reason in regards to like why our healthcare system is so expensive, right? And I'll start off with number one, right? You know, why are physicians in the United States paid so much more than any physician around the world, right? And then two, administration costs, right? Administration costs are garbage, right? They're like the fucking number one, like the fucking money hole for all hospitals, right? And like, the reason I'm bringing these up, right, is because these are things that we need to like iron out within our own systems here in the United States before we can even think about implementing a single payer tax, like single payer system or like universal healthcare. Because like these shitty things that are like part of our system currently will get ironed into the fabric of that fucking shit, and it'll be like, expensive and garbage, right? And like the reason I bring up physician pay is because you all need to currently look at like the AMA and how they actually control the like means of production of physicians, right? Not only do they control how many are produced a year, right, but they also closed down a fourth of the medical schools when they first became in after World War II. They also control. They're on the board that controls the codes that hospitals use, in which like those codes are used for like how long a procedure takes,
medical
like
coding,
stuff like that, right? So the AMA are literally controlling the production of physicians. They're controlling what physicians are worth, right? And by the way, they also push through a provision in regards to like physicians who are want to come immigrate over to the United States. Once they come in on a student visa and go through our residency program, they have to go back to their country of origin for 4 years before they can come back and practice as a physician, right? So like these are like structural things and like things that we need to deal with first before you can even think about having a single payer system. Because like if we want to have a system that is like efficient, right, and is not like garbage, we need to have like these things figured out first.
No,
so.
I think that should be part of it, part of the dismantling. I think we do it probably all at the same time, but
so you want?
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask. So you want to give the doctors a cap on their salary? What are you advocating for?
No, it's just like so. The reason that physicians are paid so much and like they're over like worth here is because they're so scarce as a resource, right? Like you wonder why like we're always like so low on physicians everywhere all the time. Is because like there's literally a cap on how many physicians can be certified a year here in the United States. By the way, it's 150. It's like 150,000 a year. Because that's also the amount of residency slots that are allowed under Medicaid and Medicare. So like these are things that need to structurally be dealt with first before you can even worry about like a universal system, universal health care.
I disagree.
Hey, you can disagree all you want, but if I can't hear what you're saying because you're talking through like an Android ass phone, like.
Okay, look, Brubby, my audio good. It's just my cam that's bad, and it's.
Is that the iPhone? Is that the iPhone socialized version? What are you speaking into?
Sorry, I realized I actually unplugged my mic because of a big fucking ding-a-ling. Okay, first of all,
The mic was made by a union.
Scarcity of doctors here too, but we don't have to pay like that much money for even if you don't have insurance. In Canada, if you want to walk in without insurance, it doesn't cost as much as it does to do a walk-in for a doctor in States. When I first moved to Canada, I didn't have insurance, and it cost me $60. And I didn't have insurance or anything, but we still have the same kind of cap. We still have everybody fighting to get into med school. So I don't think it has anything to do with the whole cap on the amount of doctors that are able to be certified per year. I think it's an insurance issue. It's been proved that it's an insurance issue. That's why there's such a high medical cost for like arbitrary dumb shit in states.
Hey, point me to where it's been proven.
Pardon?
And I'll point you to my like a multitude of sources to prove my point.
Boy, if you're in biology, you can't read. Anyway,
first of all, I ain't a boy. I'm a man. All right.
I'll go ahead and find the link and I'll send it to you like personally because I have to go find it again. But not, dude. Look, I'm not fucking Bosch. I don't have bookmarks. I have like other.
First of all, bring that mic close to your mouth.
Pardon?
That mic?
Jesus.
Oh, damn.
What?
He said bring the mouth close to you.
Mic.
Oh, okay. All right. Wow, fun.
By the way, Prime, just letting you know, there may or may not be a video coming out where I just edit out all the times that you say and then put them together in a video.
You can't come on names like that.
Because I'm editing Amazon Lily last night, and holy shit, it's really funny.
Oh God, whatever. I'm ignoring that. That makes okay. Well, I should be shamed. I should do better. I'm trying to do better, but I'm not good. I'm literally pausing right now. I'm trying to do better.
Listen. It's just like it's an instinctual thing that we have in our brains where when we feel silence, we don't like there to be silence, so we make up words to fill the silence.
Yeah.
So just saying and is just like your brain auto-filling, essentially. It's
I can't shut the fuck up. I always keep talking.
That sounded like it would make intuitive sense, but it sounds like bullshit. It sounds like something else has been passed around.
No, that's the socialism side of his brain.
I think that's just what happens when no one invites you for lectures. So I don't know. Get better.
Oh,
God damn.
Hey,
oh, man.
There's a rule in here that'll help you with
Okay,
that.
all right. Anyway,
Okay,
so
Boyo, I don't know what kind of tanky you think you're talking to. I know about work ethic, boy. Okay, like I don't know. You must think I'm like one of those socialists that are just like, we need to see some means of production because I want to stay in bed. Like
I like to tour with the dead.
That's bed right now, though.
Hmm?
Aren't you in bed right now? Talk about I'll stay in bed.
Yo,
literally in bed. Literally in bed.
Maybe I just have a really weird couch.
Literally in bed. She's literally in bed.
You're next to your bed. Go take a hike.
Okay. All right. So but you were disputing a feline father with the structural impediments to healthcare or Medicare for all. That's what you're saying, right, Katarana?
Well, yeah, like healthcare for all works in other places, and I also like even in places where there's healthcare for all, if you don't have like the state mandated insurance, it's not the same price. And like a lot of countries have these caps, and I understand the purpose of having caps. Like the the whole thing of scarce resources, you need to show, ooh, being doctor is so prestigious because it's so hard to become one. And there's I don't know, there's some fucking reasons.
There's not
and I'm
these
not
aren't
even
good reasons though. I'm just saying.
One
Yeah.
of the reasons
do I look like I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, you're saying these aren't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Like, there's not really a good reason, but hey, like they have caps, and it's not not original to U.S. It's just other countries aren't as stupid.
But feline father.
Go ahead
But
and
feline.
not
So what feline father is saying that we should get rid of those things, right? We should dismantle these impediments, right?
So I actually have like a thing with this, right? So
yeah.
So that's what I'm saying, right? So physicians here are like
Mark's left
overworked,
because I was
right?
about to link an article that disproved all that dumb shit he was saying about get out of here.
Yeah, I bet. All right, so check it. So physicians here are overworked, right? And the AMA has been like fucking with like that shit for like a long time, right? For example, right? Like for physicians training here, right? You have to get a 4-year degree you have to get your bachelor's degree, right? Then you have to have like a good grades in like historically difficult classes, right? And then after you get your 4-year, you also have to have like so many hours of volunteering, you have to so many hours of shadowing, right? And then you can apply for medical school where you do like 4 years of that, and then you do your residency. In the UK, it's a 6-year program straight right out of high school, right? On top of that, you also need to think that like the fact that the AMA has little control over what a physician's worth, how often a physician, like how many physicians can be trained a year, right? And it almost seems like they purposely throttle all that back so they can keep the cost of physician high. And then when you also start to look at the way that they lobby against PAs, nurse practitioners, and they literally try to get rid of like minute clinics and Walgreens, CVS, because it devalues the worth of a physician, right? And then let me ask you this, right? Here's the kicker. When was the last time you ever saw a physician's office advertise on TV? Do you know why? Because they make it strictly prohibited for doctors to like advertise against each other if you're in the AMA system, right? If you're like in the AMA society, which all physicians are, right? So like they're literally like controlling the system of
it's
all
like
this
a
shit.
guild. Yeah.
I
mean,
so that's what I'm saying.
union,
I'm not saying
really.
that a single payer system would not work here. Like I want that.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying we need to deal with these things first before these like shitty things get ironed into like the legislation.
I agree with you. I agree with you. The AMA has literally lobbied against like Medicare for all. So I think we have to dismantle this organization. I'm with you. Right. I'm with you. Let's go to Nico and then Revolt Rise.
Okay, so one thing that I've been meaning to bring up is that even under Bernie Sanders' healthcare plan, there would need to be a phase-in period which a public option would be implemented before like we switch to like a fully single-payer system. So that's one thing. So I guess like I don't get why people would be criticizing people like Buttigieg or whoever else for supporting a public option in that case. But the other point is that one of the reasons why physicians or specialists in the US get paid so much has a lot to do with the education level of it. So in the US, I believe in Europe actually that you can begin medical school as an undergraduate, when in the US you have to where in the US you have to take go for 8 years basically or more. So that's one of the big reasons associated with the salaries or whatever of physicians and specialists in the US. Also, another thing, going back to this general discussion, I'm an empiricist. Okay, I like to point to places where systems work, where we can actually measure how efficient the system is, how it works. It seems like in healthcare, the best system is one that consists of both a private and public health insurance. One of that in like Germany or France. Even places like Sweden or Norway, which have more comprehensive systems. I would like to implement this system as well as here. I don't particularly like the American healthcare system, but I think like to act like Medicare for all is the only answer possible is kind of silly.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell Castrana, because I know she has a lot of work she needs to be doing. Go do your work, and bye. All right, so but anyway,
$5 since it comes back.
So you feel that these again his Bernie Sanders plan allows for private insurance, just that private insurance that doesn't cover the things that the government's already covering, and so Buttigieg, first of all, Buttigieg was not married to his system. He kept backing away from it.
No, his system was shit. He just called it Medicare for all.
Yeah,
it was junk.
No. Yeah,
I just the point I was trying to bring is that I don't get like why people, or I do get why people were attacking, but it just like even Bernie Sanders' plan calls for phasing in a public option. So Medicare for all wouldn't just happen tomorrow. Like it would take some time for this to happen.
Well, it happened for everybody who's poor, right? And anybody who doesn't have insurance, and like immediately right away. And then it'd be phased in starting from like going from like whatever it is, 65 now. It would go to like 45 in the first year and then 25 in the second or third year, and then like all the way down to everybody. But like the reason for doing that in the first place was literally just to stop the liberals from whining about it. Like literally, there's no reason why we have.
No, that's not true.
That's
no,
not true. What?
The reason? No, that's not true at all. The
Sure,
reason why
okay,
that would
tell me
need to
why.
happen. Okay, yeah. The reason why that would need to happen is that in order to disentangle our healthcare system as it is, the change or the switch to like flip it overnight would be nearly impossible. Like we
Why?
have. Oh, first of all, the insurance does employ a lot of people, so those people would be losing their jobs. That is like a hard fact that people have to swallow when it comes to talking about this topic.
Yeah, but
also,
theoretically though, we're going to need them in our new system, right?
Yeah, sure.
It just won't happen instantly. I'm not sure what there's to fight here.
You can't just transfer someone's job from one company to a completely different company overnight. That's just not how it works.
I get the fervor for M4A, but like we have to at least acknowledge the fact that like in reality, there's so much infrastructure already built around private insurance that it would be impossible to literally just go to the next thing.
Literally,
Well, the other thing is
private insurance is the problem, though. But okay.
The other thing is
it can be the problem, but then your problem is then with lobbying, which is like a different issue entirely than like the political feasibility of M4A. Which I mean, we can have a conversation about that, but it's not like this. You're not attacking this
I think
issue.
a lot of people get lobbying backwards, right? Like the way that usually like people think that like money is like this corrupting influence when it's actually not. Funnily enough, no. It's the way that it usually works is it's the other way around. People have it asked backwards. The money comes in for the candidate who supports it in the first place. It's usually not the fact that there's candidates who support it and switch their vote. Money actually doesn't have much of an influence on people changing their vote very often, right? What happens is it's the way that people like it's the effect on the candidates' campaigns that come in, right? They find candidates who are sympathetic to their position and then put them in, right? If you have a strong enough Democratic coalition, you can fight against that. The money doesn't come in just to change people's views. The money comes in to bring in new candidates who are supporting those views, right? So if you have people who are supporting these things, and there are people, once these changes come in place, people absolutely support it. Like the UK will never let anything happen to the NHS because it's so popular. The US can't do anything about the individual mandate now because it's in and it's so popular. And any candidate who runs against that is going to fucking lose their seat. Full stop. Right?
I'm more on your side, but can you put like an article that says popularity is the reason why they're keeping that?
Yeah, I'd have to like dig through and find it. My friend sent me this ages ago. So I can find it for you, but I'd have to send it to you after.
Hold on, what's the claim?
That the popularity stops it from being taken apart, which I feel like that could be true, but I've just never seen anything that would point to that like actually being true.
Well, you can ask it. You can see politician quotes about the thing. Especially Paul Ryan was like well quoted talking about how he wished the individual mandate never came in because he can never remove it again.
Yeah. So to back Kyo-san up, when you give people things, this is why Republicans thought they see a tooth and nail, right? Because once you give someone a benefit, it's very difficult to take it away, especially if it's universal, right? A universal benefit. So that's why Social Security, even though Republicans fucking hate it, they still, after all this time, haven't fully dismantled the system. They're fighting on the edges, but like they still have to pay lip service to everyone. Like, oh, of course we're going to protect your Social Security. We're going to protect your Medicare, right? Because it's a benefit that people they have experience with, and so once they have it and they see it works, right, or it works for them, good enough in its way, then if you the idea of you taking it away is an anathema, right? So so he's right on that part. Fuck.
But basically, like, it's about ensuring, like, once you have something, you've got to fight for it. You can't just, like, post on Twitter about how, like, yeah, Medicare would be cool. You've got to go out. You've got to, like, run for these candidates because the money's against them, right? You've got to make sure that you're not only, like, fucking posting on Twitter, that you're out canvassing, that you're out supporting your candidate, that you're out making, like, actual change happen instead of, like, complaining about the money in politics, when realistically people can fight against that money a lot easier than they think. It's not all doom and gloom.
Oh, it is though. Because here's the thing: it's not the money in the politics that's the problem. Because it is a huge problem in the U.S. Like way bigger than any other country in the world. Like
it's not way bigger than any other country in the world.
Oh, okay. Like
the argument here would be like, I'm going to guess. Is it in the judicial system, right?
Exact point, but like, okay, whatever. I'll cede it to you. It's not the worst in the world. It is bad. Okay, but what's actually bad is when they leave their Congress seat, when they eventually lose or they quit or whatever, they get a $500,000 a year job sitting on the board of directors of Aetna for the rest of their life, or their kids are there, or like, you know what I mean? Like the corruption is like very, 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 very corrupting. Like it just.
Well, usually there's people that are sympathetic with it in the first place.
These are people that are letting Americans die because they're getting donations from insurance companies. There's literally no reason at all why we haven't changed our system, besides the fact that they've been corrupted. Like Pete Buttigieg came on for Medicare for All until he got donations from insurance companies, and they literally wrote the plan for him, and they changed it.
Hold on,
so who passed the ACA? I'm just curious.
The ACA. So let's talk about the ACA. So the ACA, which was already Romney Care, which was a very right wing, like conservative.
No, it's not. The ACA is not a conservative. No, it's not.
It wasn't Romney Care.
Yeah, it is. It's a Republican plan.
Has never made more money than the year that the ACA started. Right. Then the cost of insurance in the company in this country has gone up. The insurance companies with the ACA are able to take the highest risk pools, right, which would be the most expensive, the people that are the sickest, the people that are the oldest, offload all of that risk onto the federal government. And then there was a mandate that everybody had to buy insurance. So the pool of people paying into it was bigger than it's ever been. Like it's a complete sham. And the insurance that you get through it is shit. It doesn't necessarily cover you for anything.
Okay? Sure, man. I think you're right. If I had the option to choose between having no insurance and having shitty insurance that at least did something, I would
no. Like I had the choice between no insurance and shitty insurance. I paid for shitty insurance and like I got zero coverage from it because I was out of state.
I'm sorry, but this is literally like anecdotal. Like you're just giving anecdotal.
No. There's 75,000 people that file bankruptcy in this country every year, right? At least.
Okay, we're not. Wait, that's
medical bills. Like so. It's
that's a total non sequitur. We're talking about Obamacare right now.
Yeah, Obamacare is trash. It's total junk, and the thing is like
I guess then the millions of people the millions of people then that got 20 million people that got health insurance.
You know what the insurance plans look like? Like insurance plans that cost like in Texas, right? It costs $1,200 a month for an insurance plan that has a $5,000 deductible.
Do you know how much health insurance costed before Obamacare? I'm just curious.
Yeah, it was free for me before Obamacare, actually.
What? Wait, healthcare costs were astronomically high before Obamacare. What are you talking about?
I was covered under Medicare before Obamacare, and then I wasn't covered afterwards. Like,
okay, so again, this is anecdotal, but
you just asked me.
Healthcare costs.
True, but you're skipping the point that he's trying to
healthcare have gone up ever since Obamacare started. Like the first day of Obamacare was the most expensive it had ever been, and it's been more expensive ever since then.
So
healthcare costs before Obamacare were astronomically high. Okay, like
yes, they were, and they didn't go down any.
Yes, they did. They literally did.
The federal government just subsidized the scam artists that are called themselves insurance companies.
Okay, you can keep using like loaded language like that. That's fine.
I will keep healthcare loaded language against me, and you're saying things like it costs less. It didn't cost less. It cost more. It cost the country more.
I'm asking you if you know that before Obamacare, healthcare costs were astronomically high in this country, and that after that, healthcare costs, yes, were still pretty high, but they did decline.
Can we delineate between like what the country paying is in terms of healthcare costs in like healthcare costs as a percentage of GDP versus personal cost for healthcare insurance? And is there data for this?
Go ahead. We pay twice as much as other countries that get better better outcomes. Like we have lower
here we go.
And more
arguing is system, not just Obamacare versus just healthcare in general.
Okay, here's some data. Okay, so individual market premiums dropped 10 to 21% after the ACA. So before That's not true.
Like the customer like the personal contributions might have dropped that much in states if you're lucky enough that your state accepted the Medicare rollout, right? If your state took the Medicare rollout, which not all states did, then your contribution might have gone down, but the actual amount that the insurance companies were charging went up.
Okay, I don't know why you're saying this when you can literally just Google it. Like it takes 5 seconds. Like
yeah, I know it does. Like link it. I've already done this so many times, and we've had this argument so many times.
No, wait, are y'all making the same argument? I think he's making an argument that Americans are paying less for insurance, and I feel like y'all are making an argument that healthcare costs overall, as a percentage of GDP, is going up, right? What is
that America is paying more for insurance?
No, America or Americans?
I'm saying America because breaking it down.
Yeah, of course. As you
but that's pivoting from Nico's original point.
Listen. If there's a system that discriminates against a bunch of people, and then you bring those people in and give them coverage, of course the total amount that we pay is gonna go up. That duh, of course.
Yeah.
What other option would there be? How could it go down?
And Nico's point is that helping people personally by reducing their personal contributions. So when you're saying America is paying more, that's kind of pivoting off of the point that he's making.
That America paying for all of it, which is what I want to get to.
So in fact, when you enact Medicare for all, you're going to see that same price hike. You're just going to see it go down in the future because you've got preventative care instead of reactive care, right?
Well, no.
You'll starting to affect people with the ACA.
There's 12 studies now, and maybe more than that, but there's 12 studies, and of the 12 studies, there's the lowest number that they've suggested that we're going to save is $250 billion a year. It's going to cost us $250 billion a year less to insure everybody when we're currently not doing that, and to do it with a $200 per annual deductible per person and no cost at the point of service.
The only way that
is it initially going to cost that? Is it
going
to cost that?
Year one, and then it's going to get up to $450 or $650 depending on one.
Okay, this is just for a couple of reasons. This is just only
if you tyrannically reduce price is that possible.
There's
no way you can give something to more people and it costs.
Yes, there is. That's how shitty our system
not unless you have preventative. I don't know over time.
Hold on, I don't know why you're dying on this hill because this argument could be really easy for you. You could say no, but you could hold on. You could easily. It's like I'm making I'm using figurative speech. You could literally just say, hey, even if we did pay more, good. I want everyone to be insured. I don't know.
But let's stick with facts. It's literally not even more. It saves us money.
No, it's not. You're using one study. You're using one study. There's been other studies that have done a comprehensive.
I'm not using one study.
No, wait.
Which is it? Is it the Mercator Center? Or is it the one from the
Sure, the one from Lancet that says 450 billion is a good one, but that's
that even study that one was dog shit, and the Lancet even went back on that.
Okay, the study was dog shit. Literally.
Wait, revolt.
Can I ask a question? Sorry, I just want to understand, and I'll go to you, Gambit. But I just want to understand, what are we arguing about now, right? I heard a comment, and I want to address it real quick before I go back to Gambit. I heard a comment saying that the ACA isn't conservative. It absolutely is. It was a Republican plan, right? It came out of Republicans, right? It came out of the Heritage Foundation. It was their plan. It was pushed by Republican Senator Tom Grassley, right? It was his plan that he was for. It was Romney Care, right? It was implemented by a Republican governor.
But it was modified, right? In a lot of ways. Before
it's been modified. No, it's not the exact same plan. Yeah, but it's been modified. Sure. But to be clear, but this is not a progressive plan. This is not looking to the market for answers. Is not a left-wing model. I'm just.
But what I'm saying is,
I know you're talking about something separate. But what are we arguing about? So I'm asking you.
Yeah, we're arguing about. I want to respond to that.
Conservative plan is a little bit disingenuous when you just
it is.
That was modified after.
Exactly.
No. Just because it's not literally the exact same plan doesn't mean that's dishonest things. Or it is a Republican plan. The Republicans, Tom Grassley originally supported it, right? Into what he was just saying. Tom Grassley originally supported it until the minute President Obama said otherwise, and then the Republican Party turned heads. But This was their plan. This was the plan for an upgraded healthcare system.
But
Some people this bullshit dishonest thing.
No,
this was their plan. The fuck?
Like I don't get how this makes sense. Like Milton Friedman argued for like a universal basic income. Like so what that it was a Republican plan? Like okay.
No. Someone said it wasn't a conservative plan. That's all I'm saying. That's my point.
If you're arguing just for the clarification that that's Republican, I get it.
Okay, that's why I just want that. That's what I was doing.
No, but
so I've been clarified. Go ahead.
I'm saying it's a right-wing plan because it left the private insurance companies, the private industry that was already there, inefficient, and left them in monopolies and enforced monopolies, right? And then unloaded the biggest expense that they had, the largest risk pools off of them, and put them on the federal taxpayer.
I strongly disagree about it being a monopoly because what it literally did was have the government enter the market, right? To pull apart monopolies. Like it gave people an option outside of those monopolies. That's literally how you bump monopolies. Having the government.
Okay, one at a time. We gotta get it order. Hold on. All right, so there's lots to respond to here, but we can't do it all at once. All right, one at a time. So go ahead, Gambit, please.
Okay, Revolt. This is really bad. This is really, really bad. Listen.
I know it's so embarrassing for you guys that you can't
follow
these basic steps. It literally was the worst.
Listen, Revolt. You're saying that it took the highest cost payers off of the backs of the insurance company. The problem was due to previous conditions, they weren't insuring those people. So that's what the ACA was trying to help. So to say that it took these people off the backs, no, these people were trying to get insurance, but they couldn't find insurance. Or hold on, wait, let me finish. Or if they did find insurance, they would charge ridiculous prices because of the prior causes thing. So it helped those people. So you're right that there's probably some few people that were paying like tons and tons of dollars a month, but relative to their care, they were paying more than probably what they were receiving. Because they weren't an economical part of the insurance, that's why the government needed to step in and give those people some kind of insurance. So what you're saying is somewhat right, but you're presenting it in the most bad faith, ridiculous way that you can.
Listen, like the facts of you're right that there's a lot of people that had pre-existing conditions that were precluded before, but they were still people with pre-existing conditions were still covered for other things, and most people had insurance. So by mandating the pre-existing condition clause, we also financed it, but and here's the but, like we took like the federal government has also like subsidized these insurance companies for the highest parts of the risk pool, and it's literally written into the bill. Like they're literally taking in as part of the concessions that they made in order to get the pre-existing conditions clause passed, is that the government was going to subsidize people that were in super high risk. Like that was literally part of the bill. I mean, we can pull up the text of it if you need to.
I'm not saying that it's not. I'm just trying to get you to understand why.
I mean, I understand why, but like that's the point, though, is that like
is your point that you want people that were precluded from having insurance to be available to have insurance and be able to go to doctors? Is that your point, or is your point just to rail against some kind of insurance company on some bad faith argument?
Is that the insurance companies, when they made this deal, made more profit than they ever had before, and they've continued to grow their profit every single year while covering less and less stuff for people. Like they literally deny 60% of claims still. Like it's insane. Like the system that we have is not functional. And
is
the
that
idea
a negative that they don't counter the overall
ACA,
point?
or is that how the insurance companies operate in general, though?
What's that?
Well, is that a good criticism of the ACA itself, or is that a good criticism of how the insurance companies have been operating?
That's both.
That's the point.
Yeah, right.
Do you think they wouldn't be doing the same thing without the ACA?
Yeah, no, he's not denying that. He's not denying that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like we're getting hung up on this point that like we're sort of like defending the current system as is. Like I'm not. Like I think the current system.
Been arguing about it.
No, I'm just arguing about it because it sounds like I'm sorry. What?
No, we're arguing that we can't flip a switch overnight.
Exactly.
That would be the origin, yeah.
It's not that we're not trying to take over control of the hospitals and the doctor's offices and the distribution set like for pharmaceuticals and all that stuff. Like leave that private. Let the market do what the market actually does do well, and like find the efficient way.
Sound like a libertarian.
No, that's not true.
Why?
A single payer system can demand things that that the markets cannot.
Yeah, it's a monopsony. Absolutely. Like, and that's the point.
I can say that this operation, I'm only going to give you $100, regardless.
But right now, the insurance company has a monopsony over me. Like, is that fair?
But that's a separate. That's just a pivot, right? Like that's
It's
not
not,
actually
no, no, no,
addressing
it's
what's
not a pivot.
happening.
So, like,
No,
this is
that's not a
what we have.
pivot from what we're saying.
And I'm talking about where we need to go. Like, how do we get rid of the system we have now? We can't do it. Like, it's not plausible, in my
First
opinion.
step, you just need to get rid of the AMA.
What's
Or, like,
that?
kick their ass.
So, like,
The first steps, we just need to like
you introduce a public
deal with the
option,
AMA.
and you either go with the public option or you go with private.
But this is the liberal thing. This is what they do. They'll give you the public option and they'll make it suck just enough that it's worth to get off it and try to pay for your insurance. And that way everybody gets a bad taste in their mouth and they think that the government can't do anything. And like, oh, ho hum, like you gotta go guess we just gotta pay. And like we haven't even gotten into the fact of like it is like massively inefficient, right? And like the capitalist market to have people tied to their jobs by their health insurance, have the expense come like the people that are paying for the most medical procedures are the people that we want to be buying houses and new cars and stuff, and like they're not doing that now, and you know what I mean, because we keep
I think it's like it's a super good point in that like one of the problems that the US has massively, and you can actually see it reflected in Trump's unemployment numbers as well as a bunch of other things, is the fact that the US is very, very unproductive in moving people from the jobs that they're in currently to the positions where they should be. Because what you want is to have some frictional employment under capitalism. You want people to move between jobs so that as they get more skills, they can earn more pay in better workplaces, so they can earn more money, right? But what happens in the US is that like unemployment levels regularly dip below recommended levels. There's actually such a thing as having too little unemployment because you want people to be moving between jobs and earning more money. And one of the things I've seen attributed to this is the fact that like the employers are tied to the insurance.
100%, and it's a huge cost for the businesses right now that like we could basically offload, like take off of them, and and if we want to, you can even make legislation that says every dollar that they had been paying for insurance now needs to go to increase employees' salaries, starting with the lowest paid employees. If you wanted to, you know what I mean? Like we can do a lot of things with it, but like it's just an inefficient distribution of capital for one thing. Like it's tying up a massive amount of the resource for no reason, and it makes for a lack of liquidity in the job market, so you can't move to new locations.
Okay.
Quite.
So, all right. The current system is bad.
I think everyone agrees. It's like the contention of like where to go from here and how to get there.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that we should have more options available. I don't.
I think that I don't want to limit. I just don't think that we can if we leave the insurance companies there, because they lobby so hard and they make it so like they turn the politicians run on Medicare for all, and then they get into office and then something happens and then they're against it. And
well, the other thing that y'all don't contend with is exactly what Baja Blast said earlier. The people who support the policies y'all are saying are God's saving grace don't get elected because people don't support them.
Is that the?
It is that.
Okay, all right. First of all, I love the Gambit. You're the best.
I was a Bernie supporter. It is that.
No, hold on. No, here's the thing. These are new ideas, and we don't have a media infrastructure that supports us, right? That helps explain these ideas. We have a media infrastructure that, instead of covering a Bernie rally, right, will cover an anti-Trump podium. This is what we're dealing with, right? Getting this message out, right? No. Let me explain this. No, you want explanation? No, I'll give you an explanation, right? Yeah. And then I'll go to Baja. But like like saying like this is a brand new idea to many people, right? Like moving away from the market, right? What they know, right? I have experience with my insurance company. Oh, sure, I love my insurance company, right? Again, most of those people actually haven't had to deal with an insurance company, right? Like haven't needed an emergency, but still, right? They love our insurance company. Well, what they actually love is their doctor, right? Paying this random company, this middleman, for their healthcare. Do they need that? Do they love that? No, not really. But they love their doctors, and it's easy to scare people like, oh, we're gonna lose your doctor. You're gonna lose your doctor, especially after the fiasco that was the ACA rollout, right? So you're saying that these people don't get elected? Yeah, you're right. No, you are right, Gambit. I'm not gonna fight you on that, but that's not surprising. A political change takes time. Like this was Bernie's whole point. It's not me, it's us. Even if he had been elected, a change wouldn't happen overnight because he needs a whole infrastructure. So what's happening is, and I've said it so many times here on stream, is that for leftists to actually get power, right? For progressive, for leftists to actually seize power, you cannot start with the presidency. You can't do it. You can't. First, you have to start from the bottom, like anyone else. Build up political coalition, especially since we don't have the money. We don't have the money to do the easy way, right? So you have to do organizing on the ground. You have to start winning local elections within cities, and we're doing that, right? You have to start winning governorships, right? You have to start winning seats within the inner Democratic Party, right? Like the bureaucracy of the Democratic Party. You have to actually start taking those over. Because or you'll have the fiascos like during the primary. You remember during the primary there was that whole thing with the caucuses and the vote counting. Yeah. It was a whole fucking mess, right? Bernie needed people in his corner when that was happening. When South Carolina happened, that vote which was the beginning of the end of his campaign, right? Bernie needed people to call on. Right, senators, basically call him to back him up. Obama called up Clyburn, the fucking snake. Holy shit. Anyway, Obama called Clyburn to help out Biden.
The number one recipient of health insurance fucking payouts in the country from any of our politicians.
Just a coincidence, I'm sure.
But hold
on, let me finish. Let me finish my point.
I'm coming in when you're done, Pro.
Okay, all right, fine, sure.
Well, he's responding to me. I want to respond, and then.
Okay, so we have to build political power from the bottom. So then, when do we have another candidate? And it's not going to be President Bernie Sanders. It's not going to be Bernie Sanders. But when another one, when an AOC is ready to run, then she has a machine behind her, just like they did, right? So I don't disagree with what you're saying, Gambit, but I don't think it's because it's not popular. It's because we're just going from the top, right? Because people pay attention to American politics, as you already know, every 4 years, right? And they expect the president to fix it. So,
but even you submitted that if you polled the country, you felt like most people want these policies, right?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they aren't comfortable that a policy is separate from a candidate, right? And a candidate can be easily demonized, correct? Right? So you can say like this candidate is this a socialist. He's going to take away your daughters, whatever the fuck. I don't know, whatever, right?
So you think most people are too stupid to vote for what they want?
Well, first of all, I think they can be easily convinced against it. I mean, look at the whole Republican Party. Look at the Republican Party and what they vote for, right? Against their own best interest, right? So that really does happen. But like, I'm not calling people stupid. That's not the point here. I'm saying that we have an entire machine and infrastructure pushing against these policies. So no, it does not surprise me that they aren't as popular as I think they could be, and these candidates are having trouble making headway.
But which one do you think is more popular in the Democratic Party, though? M4A, I mean, like no private option, or with a private option?
I think what he's trying to say is that you can't necessarily know that because people are only paying attention to the highest level of politics in the country, and they're not paying any attention to any of the local action, whereas where this change will be more likely to be will be more effectively taking place.
Let's go to Baja. He's been waiting patient. We'll go to Baja, then you go straight to you, Kyo-san.
So I just want to say, like, I'm gonna probably touch on the same thing everyone else is gonna touch on, but it's just like when I started hearing what you're saying it's like a brand new idea, and all this, and we need we're fighting against a media structure that like is set up to be against M4A, whatever public option. Sure. But then you use that as like a defense of the idea, when in reality you go to like the real issue, which is like no actual organizing around candidates or local, anyone local that's fighting for these things. There's not enough of that going on.
That's why I literally said
it's weird to use that as a defense and say that it's brand new as an idea, as a defense, when at the same time the real problem is just that there aren't enough people that want this, that are willing to put in the hours, canvassing for like a progressive candidate that believes in this. They're not the people that want to put
I disagree.
to fight for it.
I reject that part. Bernie had an endless number. He didn't hurt for volunteers, right? Like,
but that's for a national thing, right? That's not local,
and
right?
these progressive candidates, so other candidates below the presidency, right? We've seen senators, we've seen congressmen with these progressive ideals fighting for this. They don't hurt for volunteers. That's never a problem. Like,
but they're in very progressive districts, right? I mean, that's the truth. No one's in West Virginia.
Hold on, but then now you're first of all, you're still moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts here.
No, he didn't.
No,
it's not a goalpost.
Yes,
you
are. Holy shit, yes, you are.
No, because he talked about the local level, and you're bringing up Bernie. He said local.
Yes,
he's not
I know what he said, Gambit. Thank you. You don't have to tell me what he said. I heard what he said, right?
Well, stop saying he's moving the goalposts.
Because he's moving the goalposts. I'll say he's moving the goalposts when he's moving the goalposts. I'm saying, right, like, look.
I want to know, how are y'all moving goalposts? This motherfucker's heavy as shit.
Oh, God. Look, in
This
terms
God,
of, hold on, everyone, please, if everyone keeps jumping in, I can't get my point out. So let me just finish this, all right? Look, so to respond to you, right? And then we got to go to Kyosan. To respond to you, in terms of organizations, yes, there's plenty of people. Oh, thank you for the raid. Thank you, Gappy V. Oh, hold on one second. Gappy V, thank you so being so kind for raiding me. Everyone, shout out to Gappy V. That's really kind of you to come in with that. It's really kind. Everyone check them out. And we're having a debate right now on Medicare for All. This is a conversation open walk on panel where you can jump in. You can be a part of this too if you'd like. We'd love to have you. But thank you everyone who came in. Thank you Gappy B for being so kind. Okay, back to you, Baha. So in terms of organizing, right? You're saying there's not enough people organizing? There is, right? So we've seen on the local level candidates who espouse these issues get volunteers. That's not a problem, right? I don't know where you get this point from, right?
In progressive areas, you're absolutely correct.
Yeah, wait. So yeah, sure, okay, yes, not in maybe a red district or right now purple districts, because right now we have to move the Overton window, right? So yes, it's true. Like I said, we haven't turn the whole country on a dime. This takes time. This is what it looks like to build a political coalition. It takes time, but we've made amazing progress just in time. Like since the Justice Democrats have come in, having 10 candidates so far within Congress. That's like huge fucking progress. Yeah, but it's not going to happen.
Sure, but let me pause you there. Because that's a salient point right there, and that's the fact that like this is a lot of progress. I think Bernie Sanders going from not being known to being like almost the fucking runner-up is like insane. That's absolutely insane. However, the thing that everyone's talking about, like that Lefty's online to talk about, is the fact that they want M4A in like a super near future. And when we have arguments about a public option over M4A, it gets lost in this a need for it to be immediate, when I can acknowledge the progress you have now as being good, but like people that are fighting for single payer, like people that are fighting for keeping private insurance, want that feasible system, and they think it's going to happen faster than M4A. So I'm not going to deny your progress, but like if I want to help people now, I need this system to change in a way that it will work. Which is single payer with probably private insurance.
I think I understand what you're saying. I think you're saying like having intermediary steps, right? This is like the Warren plan, right? Like, oh, we can't jump straight from here to there, right? My problem is
6,000 people die every year.
Yeah,
lack of help.
So that's like the same idea for like the ACA, right? During that fight, Obama said this as well. Like, well, of course, I mean, like, Obama, that would be the goal, right? Yes, of course. Like, yeah, socialize, that might be the goal, right? But we can't jump from here to there, and we shouldn't let the good be the end of the perfect be the enemy of the good, or something like that, right?
You're manual.
Yeah, this is exactly it. My problem is that, again, if you don't fight for this, like political capital isn't infinite, right? Once you make a system like the ACA, for instance, you immediately take the air out of the fight for anything else. People say, well, job is done. I mean, we did it, right? Like, we had a revolution. We have more people covered than we ever had before, right? So job is done. And then you have to re-explain, first of all, why private insurance are shit, right? And the failures of the market that are being on display right now with the ACA, right? You have to fight the same fights over and over again. So instead, I'm saying, fuck it, let's go for it. Let's dismantle the system that's causing so much pain. And remember, like, there's a cost to this, and it's a cost in lives, the amount of people dying from our system as it stands. So yes, there are other intermediary steps that could be better, but in my opinion, if you don't dismantle the entire system, then you're gonna those will fall to the same issues that you're seeing in the ACA.
But what's scary is
that I gotta go to Kyo-san. He's been waiting so patiently. Kyo-san.
Okay, so this is gonna be like 2 topics ago, so I apologize
No problem.
because it was like related to Bernie. Now I'm gonna intro this by saying that I'm gonna remind everyone that I said that local level politics is what's most important. That making sure that you're backing your mayoral candidates, your state candidates, right? These are the ones that can actually enact change, right? Like I agree with Prime on the broader point. Now I'm gonna get really mad about the Bernie Sanders stuff. Okay. I've got a list of stuff, and I'll hope that like I'll put the list in chat when we're done.
Okay.
And I've got a few things to go through. So try not to interrupt me until the end, right? So Sanders has you message like the Clyburn thing, right? Sanders has like a massive weakness. Sanders has like very high good positives, and Sanders has very high negatives, right? Sanders is very good at pushing their policy because they're very good at getting people like to listen to him outside of Congress. That doggedness can really hurt him when people want to work with him in Congress. He is not very good at making political allies. This is very well known. There was that famous quote from Hillary, nobody likes Sanders, right? And a lot of people came out and was like, no, I like Sanders, right? But this can be evidenced in the amount of bills that he actually passes. He's good at passing amendments, roll call amendments, which don't need the entirety of Congress, but he's passed 4 bills. 4 bills out of 365.
So did Nancy Pelosi. So did Nancy Pelosi. Sorry. No, so did Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi.
And that's not Nancy Pelosi's job.
But hold on. Oh my God.
What's Nancy Pelosi? What's Nancy Pelosi?
Finish. We'll take notes.
Most. Okay. Sorry. I'll wait. Sorry. You're right. I'll wait.
No, that's okay. Because like the distinction, you can cut in, go for it, right? Because like Nancy Pelosi's job has been House seat for like has been the chair of the House, the top of the Democratic Party. It's not her job to pass bills. Bernie Sanders was head of the Progressive Caucus. It is literally his job to write and pass bills. Right? Like, so these are different things you can criticize different people for. And Pelosi has still passed more bills than Sanders as a higher percentage as well. Like,
I think you do have to acknowledge the fact that
the idea of like the media like having it that if you want to attack that point, we can go over that point before I move on to the next one.
Okay.
I just want to say Bernie was the most popular elected politician in all of government for like 13 years in a row, both from constituents and from as voted by the actual like the Congress themselves.
Okay. So
my only point.
When it comes to
could you pass the Congress one as well themselves, please? I'd like to see that data.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. So when it comes to this bill versus amendment thing, first of all, what the fuck does it matter, right? Like if you're actually providing material benefits, if you're actually improving the lives of individuals, it doesn't matter if it's labeled a bill or an amendment. Like that is a pointless distinction, right? Because as long as you're getting your policy right through. Correct, right? The policy is through, even if it's not a standalone bill, even if it's just an amendment, then like what difference does that make? No,
because it was demonstrative it was demonstrating a point that says like roll call amendments need less people on to sign on for them. So Bernie Sanders can get roll call amendments done, which is good, right? He's very good at doing that. I'm sure we can agree. Like I said, Bernie Sanders has his positives.
Yes.
But I think that like the bills thing is like demonstrates like that he's pretty poor when it comes to like actually getting bills passed because he's hard to work with.
Bills are all the ideas that you want.
So
maybe his bills are more radical, and that's why they also don't pass.
No. But people don't like and I'm actually going to backgamp it up on this, right? He does not have, and this strengthens the point that I was saying before, saying that Bernie Sanders being a Democratic gadfly for all these years, right? That he had no backup, literally that like he was literally irrelevant. People didn't know who this dude was. Like I knew who he was because I followed politics very closely, but until he ran for president, most people had no fucking idea who this man was, right? Yes, on the farther left spectrum of the Democratic coalition, right? And not even a Democrat, an independent caucusing of the Democrats, right? Yes, to say that
he was head of the Progressive Caucus.
That he did. So the Progressive Caucus. Okay, that's another fucking the Progressive Caucus isn't the Progressive Caucus. Founded it. Yes, I know, and it's a failure. So
I'm sure you don't. Just like
but it's a complete failure. But the Progressive Caucus is a complete failure. So, all right. But
don't know if I agree with that one. All
right. Well, we'll have to fight on that later. Sorry. But anyway, he didn't have backup. My point is that he did not have backup. The Progressive Caucus was not backup. So that's why that happened, right? Like there was no one. So like now we're actually we're forming a team. Right now we have actually a progressive in Congress, right? To back him, and now we can have a smaller caucus to actually accomplish things. So no, I am not surprised that Bernie Sanders didn't pass a slew of bills. Of course not. And the center-right party that is the Democratic Party, of course not. Of course it wasn't. what president was going to fucking sign it?
So, like,
Bill Clinton?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's okay. So the point I'd make here is that, like, if you're not, like, there's sometimes you do have to, unfortunately, compromise. You live in a democracy. That's like how you get things done. And if you're not willing to compromise, that's like a problem. Now, like I said, for Bernie Sanders, that's both a positive and a negative. There's like two sides to it, because that doggedness and that unapologetic to apologize was like the reason we had like progressive politics in the last 4 years, right? Bernie has been unequivocally good, but he has like negative sides to his character. Absolutely, right?
I
We
know
wouldn't
that
be talking
Bernie
about
is-
Medicare for all right now if it wasn't for Bernie Sanders, right?
I know that Bernie is somewhat unwilling sometimes to work with the other members of his party to try to get some of his policies passed through.
Sorry. Where do you? First of all, where are you getting that from? What exactly are you talking about specifically?
Just the amount of the fact that he didn't really go out there to try to get any endorsements for his presidential campaign.
But that's not the same thing. So that's not the same thing of what
No,
you
yeah,
just said.
well,
Those are two different
I'm
things.
trying to make like a larger point off of that.
Okay, but that's not the same thing. Just to be sure.
Right. It's not quite the same thing as making like negotiations with the rest of his party. Like,
so that was a failure of his. That was another failure. What you talk about the presidency, right? That was a failure of his. He should have done better there. But okay, but that's different from what Kilson is saying.
Take that and try to make a reflection on how he tries to operate, like almost solo, sometimes in politics, to try to get his shit through instead of trying to negotiate a little bit more.
Except that he literally did. That's why he's the amendment king, right? That's how he got things done.
Amendments are extremely easy to get onto bills after the bill's been written.
No. Sorry, it depends on the amendment, right? Depends on the amendment and whether they can get through. So like,
the
not
roll call
everything...
amendment needs 13 people from memory.
Yeah. But the point is that he was the best at it. Like, Republicans give him credit for how well he worked with them to get amendments through, right? He's like, I don't even care. Like, this goes through, you can take credit for it. It literally doesn't matter to me as long as it helps others, right? He's bad at taking credit for things, which is a problem. Which is a problem.
The only thing a lot of that is because people just don't want to go to work. Like, if you look at those roll calls, like a lot of those like only had like the 13 vote threshold, and that's good. If you can come in on your day off and get people to sign on to roll call amendments to get through to the bill, and that bill passes, hell yeah, that's fucking sick, by hook or by crook. I say it all the time. Yeah. Right.
But I don't think it's indicative of him being necessarily bad with working others. However, is he the best? No, he's not the best. I will say that. Like, others are much better at it than he is. I'll give you that.
I'm not saying that he's like trash. I'm just saying that he could be better.
He could be better.
Like Warren, you can just pose it to like Warren example, like who was able to like get a lot of fucking bills done. Like her fucking bank reforms are like legendary, and those were like very far left bills, and she managed to pull people together to vote for them, right? Like there's just like better people at it, and it was reflected in his like presidential run. And also the second part of this is that like Bernie's pretty bad at hiring staff sometimes. This is actually part of the reason why you didn't see as strong of a media presence from him in 2020 as you did in 2016, right? So if anyone's like knows who Brianna Joy Gray is, that was his press secretary who outwardly refused to work with a significant amount of outlets, including Vox, who gave them the largest platform in 2016 and gave them the most positive platform in 2016 because they didn't pass her purity test, right?
I'm okay with her not working with that many people. That's fine.
I'll agree with you. Hey, I have a lot of criticism of Bernie too, and I think we actually might line up on a few things. The staff picking was not great. And on the other side of it, he didn't back up the staff that he did have. So, for instance, there was the woman, Zephyr Teachout, I think I want to say it was in New York. She was critical of another Biden, I think. I think it was Biden. Don't quote me on this if I get any of these details wrong. But like,
no, she was.
Okay, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah, she was critical of Biden. She wrote like I think it was an op-ed maybe against Biden, right?
It was detailing like Biden's quote unquote corruption.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about Zephyr Teachout?
Yeah.
Is that? Okay.
And then Bernie disavowed her. What? She's attacking your opponent. What you should be doing. And he refused to attack Biden. He fucking refused. It was infuriating, right? So yes, that's a weakness. I'm with you on that. But continue, Kyo-san. You had other things.
Yeah. And the last one was that the 26. A lot of people like miss out on 2020 and misblame a lot of things and don't understand why 2020 was different to 2016. Bernie in 2016 wasn't competing with Hillary for voter block. It was about voter turnout. They both had very clear separate blocks of the Democratic Party, right? Hillary was very much that coastal elite, that wine mum, that like liberal like person that you know that every fucking commie in here fucking hates, right? That they've got like stuck to their dartboard and they're throwing darts at right now as I talk. Whereas like in 2020, Bernie was actually in competition for his voter base. He's like white worker, male voting base. Him and Biden particularly were very split on that. And the problem with the other voters was the other voters were pulling those other blocks. So Bernie's block actually seems to have like a cap on it, right? There's only so many of the people that Bernie appeals to, and that appeal is important. That block is the block that swung for Trump in 2016, right? So capturing that block was the order priori in 2020, and both Bernie and Biden were fighting for them, and that's why you saw Bernie sputter out a little bit earlier this time, is because Biden managed to grab that block.
Grab that
so
block.
like, pardon?
No, sorry, I was just beaming. You're good.
Yeah. And that like a lot of the pro-union sentiments that he did, like he put 2 years of work in before this campaign, going around and working with the unions prior to even like going out in the fucking field, right? This there was like, if you look for them, you'll see like clips of like, I'm a union guy and I'm unashamed to say it, right? And a lot of his like early work has been like rewarding that group for voting for him in this in his term so far, right? So whether you think that's a good or a bad thing, I personally think it's a really good thing. And I'd rather them be competing for voter blocks, especially on the union side. But it seemed like that block had like a cap on it, that 32% cap. So when people talk about like all the moderates like coalescing around one candidate, well, they were destined to do it. And it just happened that Biden also captured that block that Bernie was going for.
Yeah, and Warren blocked in a big way too, and it made Bernie spend a lot of the campaign fighting to get back his supporters that Warren had taken.
So
like, for a large
when we looked at the polling, I was following it very, very closely, the polling. I had like a podcast series at the time where we were going over it every week. So you can go back and see the record on this. The Economist used to actually detail the polls that would see like everyone's secondary, third, fourth, fifth premises, right? And it turns out that Warren's group, while like swinging for Bernie, tend to only 20% like go for Bernie. Bernie had the plurality of Warren's vote, but it wasn't like the mass majority, because the group that Warren had was the highly educated people. Were very like, the more educated the were you, the more like you were to vote for Warren, to the point where like PhDs were almost 100% in polling in favor of Warren, right? Like Bernie's group wasn't actually among Warren's group. He wasn't fighting Warren for that group. Warren had actually a separate voting block.
Okay. Well, we'll continue on. I just need to do business for a quick second. Hey everyone, if you're enjoying this content, if you just showed up, we're arguing about Medicare for all. I'm proving everyone wrong. It's amazing. I'm so good at this, especially Gambit. So if you're enjoying this content, do me a favor, hit that follow button, hit that notification bell so you know I'm going live. We'd love to have you here for these conversations that get really spicy, as you can see so far. And if you could help us out, we takes $5 to keep this content going and growing. So if you could sub to the channel, if you haven't subbed yet, and there's a few of you out there who haven't subbed yet, please take the opportunity to sub. We give you a lot of content here, and I never miss a day. I never miss a fucking day. We give you a lot of content here at this channel, so we could use your help. Help out the channel. Subs if you have not subbed before. Use your Twitch Prime Gaming here if you haven't done so already. I think we definitely give you enough to deserve that. You can sub for 3 months and get 20% off, and 6 months for 30% off. Oh my god. 3 months for 20% off, 6 months for 30% off. I know this. I've said this like a billion times already. But yeah, please sub to the channel. Donate bits, donate subs. Great way to help us out. Of course, we have a PayPal button below. Help us out there. That's a good way of getting your money to the channel. A lot more of your money gets to the channel if you decide to support us in that way. Of course, you can also do ! Donate in chat to help us out. ! Donate in chat to help us out as well. And we have a Patreon, ! Patreon, which is brand new. Lots of options to support the channel if you can. But we need it. We can't do this without you. All of the work that goes into this, that goes into creating those closed panels that will have all like everything tomorrow. I'll have our good friend GSU Gambit there. We're gonna have a really good time. But yeah, it takes work to gather all these individuals to make these things happen. So it takes work to create the primetime morale, which is what we're gonna have on Saturday. All that takes a lot of effort. And so if you could help us out, if you could do us a favor and donate subs, donate bits, or give to the Patreon below. Give to the Patreon or use the PayPal button. I'd be much appreciative of it. I cannot do it without the support, and I thank everyone else who has given me support in the past. So thank you so much. Okay, we can jump back into it.
I just think that one thing that we have to keep in mind about the 2020 primaries with Bernie Sanders is that he seemed to specifically target like younger voter turnout and trying to increase that turnout a lot more. And what's unfortunate about that is that while the turnout for younger voters in the 2020 primaries did increase like quite a bit, that voter range turnout compared to other age ranges is pretty low, which is just really unfortunate that younger people seem so disillusioned to the effectiveness of their vote in politics.
There's also massive amounts of voter what's this suppression or vote suppression. Like I had to wait 10.5 hours to vote for Bernie in the primary in Texas and in Austin, which was like completely ridiculous. And like there was a bunch of places around Texas that was the same thing, and there was the same issues in other parts of the country. So it's like the young vote is disadvantaged in a major way. They also like with COVID was like breaking up schools. People were like going home, from university, so they weren't able to update their voting address back to their home state in a lot of cases. And like there was a bunch of the things that were disadvantaging Bernie. However, he also ran a shit campaign. Like the first time he was running against the establishment, he was running against the DNC, like against the thing we all hate. Like polling after poll after poll after poll, everybody hates the DNC, even Democrats. Like when he was running against it, it was fine. But this time he was running against his buddy Joe. Oh, it's my buddy Joe. Like, oh, I like Joe. Joe's a good friend of mine. Joe's a good guy. You know what I mean? And like, you're just not gonna, you can't. That's not gonna win. That's just not gonna. Was never gonna work.
Well, the idea here is that like while they share a voter base, you don't want to if you're shitting on someone that people like generally identify with, it's just not going to like end out that well. That's why last time like he was a little bit more like critical of Hillary, whereas like this time he's very hands off on Joe.
But Kyo-san, you have to differentiate yourself, right? Like, and the Biden campaign had no problem shitting on him, right? That was the case, and they had no problem using their friends in the media to do their dirty work for them. So, like, you have to punch back. You have to push back. You don't have to say like, you have to question the man's character, right? But you can question his policies. That's fair game for anyone.
Well, I think a lot more safe. The Democratic Party checkmated him when they acted like he was the reason Hillary lost. Like, the Bernie bros don't go support the other candidate. So the Democratic Party set him up to fail because they didn't want to support him.
Right, and the Bernie bro thing was literally Neera Tanden's invention, and it was leveraged against Bernie in 2016 in Nevada when like Bernie like had a chance to win on a technicality in Nevada, and like they completely cheated and like shut the second vote down. And like in order to distract from the fact that Bernie almost won and it was that close, that's when they rolled that thing out. So thank you, Neera Tanden, you giant piece of trash.
Once again, you have to have infrastructure.
She's been shit can out of a job, dude. Posting hard. See you later, Neera.
Fuck you, Neera Tanden. But that's again to my point. You have to have infrastructure. You can't just jump into these things, right? You can't like if he had support in Nevada at those caucuses, history could be different right now. But he didn't have that.
I don't really think that Bernie had the option of being super critical of his fellow primary runners because it was a lot safer for them to do that because they had a lot more support within the general Democratic voting base than Bernie probably did during the primaries.
What does that mean, though? What does super critical mean to you?
Like what Joe Biden was doing to Bernie Sanders' campaign, essentially.
So,
well, I don't think I think it seems like Biden was like criticizing his policies. No, like I don't, and maybe I'll like tell me if I'm misremembering, but I don't remember points at which Biden was like Sanders did this or Sanders did that.
No, Biden himself was
Castro.
Biden himself was fine. No, Biden himself is okay, right?
Yeah.
It's his minions. Like they all have their what they call it something. What like the people who like go out into
flying monkeys.
No, not flying monkeys. They call it
minions.
No, not what. It's
they're goons.
No, not goons, guys. There's an actual term people use for this, right? They're representatives.
Hitmen.
All right, guys. Never mind. If you guys are gonna mean,
surrogates.
Thank you. Surrogates. That's it. Yeah.
No, y'all weren't supposed to give it.
Yes.
It's too fun.
His surrogates. But this is how campaigns usually work: is that the opponent goes like, "Oh yes, my friend whoever," right? But they don't want to look too argumentative, too aggressive, right? So yes, his surrogates hit Bernie fucking hard again with this Bernie bro bullshit. That came from Elizabeth Warren, like straight from her mouth.
Right.
But yeah, I think there was plenty of room to be critical, and I think there was no ground. I'm sorry. I'm so frustrated that I have so many things to say. It's like I'm having trouble getting it all out. Bernie did not use the tools that he had. There was weakness within his opponents, right? That he could have exploited. He refused to do it. He absolutely refused to do it. But his opponents didn't feel the same way, and they hit him hard. And he knows he's going up against a media apparatus that is completely and totally against him, right? If you have advertisements on your channel for like Northrop Grumman, right, or Boeing, yeah, they're not going to give a shit about Bernie. They're going to fight you tooth and nail because that's their fucking paycheck that he threatens, right? But he didn't understand that, and he didn't take the necessary actions. So Bernie was he ran a really bad campaign. Do
you think it's fair to say that Bernie would have had a more difficult time criticizing the other primary members' policies specifically if most Democratic voters are probably going to be in favor of those policies? Like, I feel like he probably...
Which policy? Did you just say in general?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I am talking about policies in general. Yeah.
But which one? If you're talking about policies in general, I don't know. It depends on the policy.
For instance, like the healthcare thing, I would say that a majority of Democratic voters probably were more in line with Biden's healthcare plan than Bernie's healthcare plan. I'm not saying that all Democratic people would prefer Biden's healthcare plan, but I would say that the majority of the
what was Biden's healthcare plan?
I don't think. Yeah, I think everyone here, I don't think there's a single person in here that would agree that Biden's healthcare goes far enough or anywhere near far enough.
Right. Yeah.
He's not talking about that. He's just talking about the descriptive reality that these people are more in favor of the policies of his opponents generally than his.
No,
he's saying that he saw the writing on the wall.
I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's the case.
Of Biden supporters in the primary thought that Biden was for Medicare for all. That was it was literally.
He was very clear on stage that he wasn't. To be fair, that is
he did. But there was a poll immediately after the primary that said that that 30% of the people that supported Biden thought that they were going to get a Bernie's healthcare plan. So that's part of it. But the other part of it is you had guys like Chris Matthews on MSNBC, which is supposed to be the leftist, you know what I mean, or the left leaning news, compared him winning Nevada to the Nazis rolling through France. To
be fair, that dude had to fucking leave his job in disgrace after that.
What's that?
To be fair, that dude had to leave his job in disgrace after that, but I think we can all agree that MSNBC kind of fucking
but that
sucks.
wasn't the reason why. That's not why he left, though. Remember?
No, yeah, but there's another whole incident too where he went on the soliloquy about how he was going to be hung in a gulag in Central Park.
Yeah,
if Bernie
that was the funniest fucking shit.
We
all have that same nightmare.
But that's not why he left. There was a sexual thing. There was a sexual harassment thing. That's why he left.
Was it a sexual harassment thing?
Yeah,
shit! I thought it was just because people he'd given a whole bunch of shit takes and people were over it.
I just want to clarify that when I'm saying I'm talking about the age range that has the most voter turnout in the Democratic Party is probably going to align a lot more with Biden's specific policies than Bernie's specific policies. So it was probably a little bit more difficult for Bernie to.
He is friends with all the people that are literally on Medicare, is on it, ironically,
Yeah.
So I'm gonna head out here, y'all. Before I do, can I plug my thing real quick?
Please, absolutely.
Hell yeah. Hey everybody, Feeling Father here. So I'm putting in chat 2 link trees that I put together with my community over my Twitch channel. These are COVID-19 resources for y'all to use. The first one is general information and frequently asked question links. So if you ever have any questions about what the current status of any vaccines, questions about vaccine status in your state, masks, whatever, those are good links right there. And then the second one is kind of like a cheat sheet on being able to talk to your friends and family about COVID-19 misinformation and conspiracy theories and stuff. Again, it's got really good links, really poignant links that you can actually send straight to them if they have any questions about stuff. It kind of lays out a lot of those arguments that they make and they believe, in ways that you can easily kind of dismantle it. And in both those link trees, the first link is a link to my ask.fm. So if you want to ask any anonymous questions about COVID-19 that you feel silly asking out in real world, ask me to me anonymously. Answer them on stream. Talk to them with my community. Go ahead and show those around if you could. Try and share them with some of your other favorite streamers and try and ask them if they can make a chat command for it. That way we can try and get more of these COVID-19 resources out to people. A little bit more easier.
Okay, so you want me to create a chat command to for this COVID-19? Okay.
Yeah, if that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Yeah.
Okay, let me try to copy and paste this and see if I can do something like that. Yeah, that's a good idea. on COVID resources.
Yeah, and I'll be updating it frequently. I plan on adding some like other country stuff. So I'm gonna try and find some like databases that has like vaccine openings for like different countries, like in South America, or Latin America, the UK, Europe. So I can try and like make sure everyone's informed. So
dude, that's awesome. That's like fuck no Gambit. Sorry, I got distracted. But no, seriously, Feline Father, good work.
Yep.
Really good work doing that. Everyone, please, I'll shout him out once again. Everyone, go follow Feline Father. That's like an awesome thing that he's doing to help out the community, to make sure we're all very much informed. So please check out Feline Father. Good guy.
All right, have a good one, everybody.
Have a good one, my friend. And yeah, and hit those links if you guys want some COVID information. Feline Father's a pretty knowledgeable guy, so yeah, check out those links and see if you can find something helpful to you and your family. Okay, so getting back at it. So you said something, Baha, saying that you thought we can look at the polling. Literally, just look at the polling.
I honestly don't remember what you're referencing, but
no, you were you were saying that the Bernie's plans were not as popular as Biden's.
Oh no, I was just like, you guys didn't seem to be getting Meme Scoper's point. He's just not talking about like whether it's worth it or not for these people to value Biden's plan more than Bernie's. He's just saying that they simply do. So would it make more sense for Bernie not to attack those policies if he can see that more people support them? That's all he's trying to say.
Yeah, because then he's just going to lose even more support from the bases that actually vote that are supporting Biden's policies.
So, okay, I'm trying. I don't think. So one, there's no way he could back off like Medicare for all, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the other side was attacking his position, right? Saying that. Oh, saying all kinds of shit, right? Like if you followed it, yeah, like it was all kinds of shit. You have to be able to defend your point, and you have to draw clear differences between this is what I want and this is what your opponent wants. His policies were popular, especially once people understood what they were, right? And a lot of people didn't. A lot of people still don't understand what his policies were, right?
Yeah,
So like, there's no other way but to draw distinctions with the other candidate. Like, if people don't understand, if people only hear the other side of the argument, right, then you're going to lose. You're going to lose, right? So you can do that in a way that's not like totally trashing Biden, right? And it was
you're right.
Yeah. So there's a line to be walked here, and then of course you have your surrogates, and your surrogates are the ones supposed to be able to go down against your opponents, right? They're supposed to do all the dirty work for you. And when they did try to do that, again with Zephyr Teach Out, she actually tried to do what a surrogate is supposed to do, and Bernie said no. So yeah, he fucking lost. He fucking lost. So,
and unfortunately, one Bernie surrogate went a little bit too far with their criticisms.
Yeah, but it's like it's not too far. She didn't go nearly as far as Biden surrogates went. Like,
no, I'm not talking about that one. There was this one that there was one lady that got fired from like the campaign staff for doing something really bad, right?
If you could tell me what that is, I don't remember what you're talking about. Yeah,
I have no idea what the person's name is, so I don't know how I'd go about looking at it.
But what was do you remember what the circumstance was? Just out of curiosity.
They made some kind of remark about either they said some kind of really bad remark. I can't remember if it was like some kind of racist or sexist remark about either supporters of another candidate or another candidate themselves. And that just had a really bad look. And I remember that that Bernie had to go hardline against that for sure, which is fair.
Okay, I don't remember.
But I would need to look this up to be able to prove that it's true, because you shouldn't just take my word for this for sure.
No, I mean, at this point, it's water. We can't fix it. It's over.
Yeah, whatever. Kyo-san. So I really want. Oh, and also Nico. I want to yell at everyone here. So say something that annoys me, so I can yell at you. Baha, please jump in. Say something terrible. Because your Medicare for all takes were bad. I think I've properly crushed you.
I thought we agreed on the Medicare for all stuff.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
Wait, I actually have a question. I have a question for Prime. Were you on board with like the force the vote stuff?
Force the vote. Oh, the thing that Jimmy Dore was on. What was the contours of that? He wanted AOC and the rest of them
to for Nancy Pelosi to be the whatever the queen yes queen whatever thing, and again they wanted to withhold those votes and then force a floor vote on Medicare for all.
Oh yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah, I wasn't on that.
Oh, okay, good.
I
All
think yeah. It's very difficult to understand when and where to apply pressure in these situations. So I don't think that was the time to do it. I don't think we would have gotten much out of it. So yeah, I'm not for Jimmy Dore, and I'm certainly not for the way that he campaigned for his force to vote nonsense. However, I am for them applying pressure right this moment. This is the time to do it. Right now. Right now is the time. They have a COVID bill. It must pass. It has to pass, right? Biden will not abandon this bill because he has to get something done, right? Or like consider his presidency over, right? There's definitely no way a Democratic president comes in after him if he doesn't get this COVID bill passed. It must pass. So now is the time, at this moment, to apply pressure. And if they don't, if the progressive caucus, but if the Justice Democrats don't apply pressure, if Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, any other progressive senator doesn't apply pressure right this moment, then it's
Can you
over.
define apply pressure here? Like, what do you mean? Like, what should they do specifically?
Yeah, sure. So I mentioned this earlier in the stream, but I'll say it again. Joe Manchin right now is saying that, oh, I'm not for this minimum wage thing, minimum wage increase thing. I'm not for, I want to limit the COVID payments, right? So like he wants to means test these COVID payments, at least further mean test them, right? And so to the point where there are, there will be some people, hello, hey Tiffany, hey. There will be some people who got checks under Trump who won't get checks under Biden. Right? If Manchin's plan goes through, which is fucking political suicide. Why? So a Republican has given me checks, and then when a Democrat comes in office, all my friends get checks, but I don't get checks?
Let me tell you why, though. Because this is the Joe Manchin problem that I need someone to address, is that why the fuck did he win West Virginia? Can anybody, like, answer me that?
Literally no one, anyone to the left of him couldn't run. Like, they tried.
No, they did. They did, and they lost. So
yeah, and that goes to my point about why this, like, criticizing. I get the criticism for Joe Manchin. I would rather him not be there, but it seems to be that any other, like, further left Dem that tries to go to his base, they just won't rally the same kind of fervor that he does.
Okay,
and
so
he has to play that villain role.
Hold on,
no.
So I disagree. I disagree on this point, and this is what I was trying to say before. So I'll tackle this head on, right?
For sure.
Manchin. He can, first of all, he can do whatever he wants, right? He is in the pocket of his donors, so that's why he does what he does, right? His West Virginia.
Let me pause you there, because that's a point in itself. That's a point in itself. He's in the pocket of his donors. Do you really think West Virginians, like, Prime, we are both black. Do you really think West Virginians are, like, into the same, like, super left, like,
no, I didn't say that. I didn't say that. I didn't say that. Did I say
that?
I
know you didn't say that, but I'm just asking.
But I don't think they are. No, I don't think they are. There are places where you'll have more conservative Democrats. I get that it won't be. I'm not. I've never said that there's going to be a leftist wave that sweeps every county. No,
but when you say the donors are the problem, that's taking the blame off of the voters who just aren't in favor of these policies. That's just the truth.
No. Okay, listen. Okay. Again,
I get it.
You got to what? Sorry.
I gotta go next.
Okay, sure. West Virginia, one of the poorest states in the nation, right? One of the poorest states in the nation. Is it the case that the people there don't want to raise the minimum wage? Is that what they want? Do you think voters are asking for that?
Yeah, I think voters are asking for that. I'm not saying it's correct, but that is what they are. That's what they're saying. That's a descriptive reality. Like, that's
hold on. No. Where's this reality? Okay, fine. Show me polling that says they don't want it. If that's a descriptive reality, then I'll accept it. But I haven't seen that. Blue collar workers, right, making a minimum wage, want an increase in minimum wage. That's the thing. That's why when you put the minimum wage on a ballot, like in a local election, right, you get a massive turnout from people who want an increase in their own pay, because of course, why wouldn't they? So there's that. And then I'm not saying that whoever comes out of West Virginia will be some like progressive firebrand. Sure, whatever. But Joe Manchin can do what Joe Manchin does, right? He can exist as he exists now, and it's fine. What has to happen on the other side is a pressure must be applied. And so what I mean by that is that the progressives can also say, well, we're not going to vote for this either. If we don't get what we want, right, then we're not going to let this pass. If you simply roll over and say, whatever you hand me, Joe Manchin, right, whatever it is he wants is what I'll vote for, well, then there's no point. We're not negotiating with you. You're already locked in, right? It's
one of the things, yeah. Sorry, I was going to add on your point.
Okay, go ahead. No, you want to say something?
Yeah. So I was going to say that one of the ways I think it was like a masterclass of putting pressure on Joe Manchin was the way that Kamala Harris went on West Virginian TV and basically said, West Virginians really want this bill. Everyone here really supports it. We're really looking to see Joe Manchin's vote on this. It wasn't anything like attacking Joe Manchin. It was like, it was positive. It reminded West Virginians, hey, look, this is what you want. This is the person you put in place for it. And here's what we want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, like, to address, I posted an article in the VC chat.
Okay,
and
sure.
I posted a quote from the article,
where
it says 63% of West Virginians. Sorry, I gotta move this.
Sure.
63% of West Virginians report supporting a raise in minimum wage to $15 an hour by 2025 when they are told that 43% of West Virginia workers earn less than $15 an hour. So, right here, I'm not saying that people don't want this, but when they are given this explicit way, to make them say yes, which is saying that it'll help West Virginians if we raise the minimum wage to 15, that's the only time they say yes. But how this is presented, through, through Joe Manchin and through the Democratic base is not in that way. And there needs to be something else to change. Because blaming Joe Manchin isn't going to change that fact that these people do not vote in their own interest unless they are goaded into understanding it. And that's not. But that doesn't mean that it's Joe Manchin's fault.
No.
His constituents.
Okay, Joe Manchin's actions are Joe Manchin's fault. So that's absolutely the case, right? 63% of West Virginians are in support of increase to $15 an hour, right? According to the data you yourself have provided. Okay, great. So we understand that his constituency wants this, right? Absolutely. And then combine
with a caveat, but yes, with a caveat, a pretty big one.
But that's not a caveat. I'm sorry, that's not a caveat. That's not a.
It is, because when it's not phrased this way, which is in every other context aside from this data, they don't do that.
Great.
So
but hold on. We literally had a conversation earlier about how it matters how you phrase the question for Medicare for all. Right. So
that doesn't change the reality that if it's not phrased that way,
that's political messaging 101. I'm not arguing this because that's an obvious thing. That's an obvious point. Yes. If you don't phrase something correctly, right, and people don't see the benefit to themselves, then they may not be for it on a policy they might otherwise be for. Agreed. That's not like a non-issue to fight about.
So how is it Joe Manchin's fault? That's the gap that we have to meet at.
Because Joe Manchin knows that his people want $15 an hour. He's not working in their interests, right? He's working in the interest of the U.S. fucking Chamber of Commerce, who absolutely do not want an increase, right? So he's working for those interests and blocking this, which would definitely help his people. So again, how do you stop that? You use a bully pulpit. You have Biden, if he actually cared, but he doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit at all. But like, if Biden cared, he'd go to West Virginia. He'd be blanketing the airwaves, letting them know that Joe Manchin is not the person is standing in the way of a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Right now, it's not Manchin. Right now, it's the idea. It's the parliamentarian, and it's the Republican Party.
Okay.
So that's
no. It's both. It's all. It's both and all, right? Okay, I'll go down through this, right? It's Manchin saying that, should we really have a hike in the minimum wage? Maybe $11 an hour would be good. I don't know. I'm not sure I'm going to vote for it. That's one problem. And then also, second problem, being this filibuster, Manchin is fighting getting rid of the filibuster, right? Manchin and Chris Sinema are fighting getting rid of the filibuster. So that's a problem in itself, okay? Put that aside. Next, Senate Parliamentarian. Senate Parliamentarian can only give you suggestions as to what the rules are. Senate Parliamentarian is saying that you can't attach the $15 an hour minimum wage amendment to this COVID bill, right? Saying that you can't combine the two, but you can. Like Senate Parliamentarian.
No, so the Senate Parliamentarian said they could. There's nothing stopping them from doing it. It's the idea that they can't pass it via budget reconciliation, which means the filibuster couldn't be applied, right?
Yeah.
And it's true that you can work past it, but like there's a problem with it's like a partly an optics issue, partly like a law issue.
This is not
they haven't had to do it before.
This is not an optics issue. No one gives a shit. No, there is no one making minimum wage who gives a shit what like a budgetary operation you use to get them more money. There's not a constituency worried about this. That is not this is not a thing. You'll have to show me this is a thing that people give a shit.
But that's not how it's like. It's not the problem there. It'd be something like the Republicans coming out afterwards and saying like, look, this is where the lawyers landed it, and Biden's breaking the law. It's how they're going to frame it, right? Like I know what you mean, right?
No, you don't know what I mean, because if you think that this is what I've had to fight this fight so many times here, right? This fighting from weakness, fighting from like, oh no, what will the Republicans do? Oh no. So before the fight even starts, right? We already give up. Well, the Republicans might say this if we try. So let's not even bother.
Here's the thing. Let me finish. Well, what they do say affects it. What they do say affects these people.
Dude, I agree with that. But here's the thing, right? So here's what happens, right? You take an action. The Republicans, they say something, right? They'll attack it because that's what they're gonna do. It's their job. They're the other party, right? They'll attack it, and here's what happens next. Okay, this part is important. You can counterattack. You don't make your strategy over like what the Republicans may or may not do, right? You let them make their case, and then you make their case back. And what your case is, I'm going to raise your wages. I'm going to raise the wage floor, right? And this is another way to package the whole thing. I'm going to raise the wage floor, being the minimum wage, and then that'll have a knock-on effect for the rest of the economy. So even if you aren't making minimum wage, you will get a pay increase eventually, right? By raising the floor. These are ways to sell these things, right? Yes, Republicans are going to say things. They're going to complain. They're going to fucking lie, right? Sure, but you can counterattack. That's how politics works. But if you give up before, then the Republicans don't have to counterattack because you didn't do anything.
Okay, I got you. Okay, but here's
enough.
the thing, okay? So what I'm saying is like you're like saying the obvious, like I don't understand. But what is understood is that the Republicans are better at convincing. Your counterattack that you're talking about gets empowered when we get into more of the minutia of like organizing and being local, where progressives do not want to be in West Virginia, okay? So first of all,
this is not a progressive issue in
to get that kind
West
of
Virginia.
change, to get people to be convinced by that counter argument, there has to be a change in the culture. I'm just saying West Virginia, but this is like any red state. It's a basic like tenet. You have to change the culture there, and it's more than just like having Kamala Harris fly down and say, "Yo, we're gonna raise your wages," because that shit doesn't work. It's just not in practice.
Yeah,
that's not how it works.
That's exactly how it works. No, you're wrong.
But it's not working right now. Then why?
Because it's not progressive. It's not just a progressive issue, right? There's not just a left-right issue.
It's not. That's why it passes in local elections, right?
Exactly.
That's why it passes, right?
Yes.
But that's not a federal. Don't you see though? That's not a federal.
Why would that make a difference? Why would that make a difference if it's federal?
Because the local elections mean that they were organizing. There were people that were actually local that were changing this for their locale, which is different than trying to pass something with a coronavirus budget bill. That's like fundamentally different.
No, it's not. Raising people's wages, passing the policy of raising people's wages is not different no matter what level it comes on. That's not a different thing. You're saying this is a fundamentally different thing.
The efficacy of it doesn't change if it's federal or local. That's what you're telling me.
Exactly. Yes. It doesn't. Why would it?
And why has it passed in some locales and why hasn't it passed federally? If it's
the fight's happening literally right now.
And by the evidence, I guess we'd be losing that fight since it's not really working out with the bill as it stands. Like all this,
because of Manchin, holy shit! This is like such a circular argument. This is like the
I know
most
it's going in a
argument.
circle for real.
I don't know why are you making this circular argument? I don't understand why this is happening. Like you understand you're doing a circular argument. What? Like this is like.
I was just gonna say, yeah. Sorry, go.
No, go ahead, Kelson, go ahead.
I was just going to like clarify something about the parliamentarian, just because I wanted to triple check it. So they can't just ignore the parliamentarian, right? What they can do is vote to overrule the parliamentarian and fire the parliamentarian, right? Now the parliamentarian has been fired once before in 2001, and hasn't been voted to be overruled before, from what I've read, right? Which is like really important. Now, like, this isn't the Trump era. They can't just like pivot on things, stuff happening. What's the head shaking?
Because this is maddening. Because no one gives a shit. Literally, no one gives a shit. What people care, right? Is not. No one remembers. Like, for instance, like you and I might remember this, but like remember like the government shutdown. It was like in there was multiple government shutdowns, honestly, right? But like it was like in 2014, like December 2014 or something like that, right?
Yeah, every time the Republicans did it, it was backlash for them and they lost seats.
Yeah. but like no one understands the minutia of exactly what happened and what it's about. No one cares, right? They remember the effect, right? So that's what you're referring to. There was backlash against them, right? But they remember the effect of that, meaning like people were furloughed, right? That government offices were closed. They remember the effect, but they don't give a shit about like what happens in Congress and the actual minutia of this, right? So no one gives a shit if you fire the Senate parliamentarian. There's not gonna be like the Republicans not even. I don't even see them fighting on this because it seems so pointless, right? But they're not going to be running commercials. The Senate parliamentarian. Most people don't even know what the fuck that is. Most people have no idea what that is, right? So why would they give a shit if you fire the Senate parliamentarian, right? Or if, and I believe the vice president could just simply overrule the parliamentarian. That's my understanding of it. But in any case, yeah. So again, no one gives a shit. No one gives a shit about these processes, right? They just the results. If you put money in their pockets, they're going to reward you. If the economy is good, they're going to reward you. It's literally that simple. It doesn't get that much more complicated for this situation. But I don't think I finished answering Baja's question. So Baja, did you have anything else? I want to make sure.
So look, GSU said it in chat, and he put it more eloquently than me because I felt like we were fucking looping in there. And he said there are people who are okay with laws changing at the local level and not wanting federal policy for the same thing. Do you believe that's true? Because that's what's happening, right? That's the minimum wage debate. There are people that have minimum wage locally changing that don't want it for federal policy.
If you find me data, so I can see that people want state control, like local control. If you can find me data that's an issue, that like West Virginians are saying that I don't want it for the rest of the country, or I just want it just to pass in West Virginia, then I'll accept that. Until I find that out, until I find out people actually give a shit about where it comes from, then I'm not going to just believe that.
Do you see that they're not voting? Like, for people not being in favor of the $15 federal wage as evidence that they...
That's not important, though. You asked me.
You're saying it's not important, but isn't that evidence in and of itself that they're not supporting that?
Oh my god!
Like,
but
you're asking for
support it. You just gave data that does support it. You just gave data.
Nobody's run on it there.
You literally just gave data that they do support the policy. You provided that data.
Only when it's phrased in a way that focuses on them.
But like,
not
in regards to federal policy.
We have a disconnect here, and I don't know how to solve it right now, so I'm just gonna move on. I don't know how to solve this disconnect that we're having here. I don't know. I don't know how to do this. It's like,
by the way, to be very clear,
so circular.
minimum wage is really good. The literature seems to advocate for increasing $15 an hour and tying to the median wage, just what the policy does. The policy that is currently in the House is very, 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 very good and needs to get passed.
And doesn't
make sure that everyone makes it clear.
Absolutely.
So,
Tiffany,
I just came in here and I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Like randomly, I came in here, you're like, "Hi, Tiffany," and then it was just like, and I'm like, "Holy shit!" And what we're talking about right now, the $15 minimum wage, is what I have to do on Dylan Burns in like 2 days. So it's like I'm just trying to soak in everything everyone's saying, and a lot of what everyone's saying is cringe, except for fucking Prime. So it's like a lot of people like just spewing shit that they like heard, and there's like no fucking data to back it. So
do you have data to back that claim?
How about you give me data and I'll fucking destroy it?
So
do that?
No, I didn't say anything in that whole debate. I'm just fucking with you.
I wanna
wish you were fucking
finish answering the one thing that Baha had asked me before. We never got to. We kept getting distracted. You asked me what does applying pressure mean in this situation in terms of progressives, right? So to apply pressure, they have to say they're not voting for this bill if it doesn't have the $15 minimum wage. If they simply agree to a bill that doesn't have it, well, then they won't get it. It's really that simple. So you have to say, like, no, I'm going to make trouble here. That's how politics works. If you start blocking things, then people have to respect you. If you go along with literally anything they put in front of you, then why should they deal with you? It makes no sense. Why would I negotiate with a person who's going to vote for anything? So I'll decide what it is, and you'll fucking vote for it. Get to it. Does that make sense to you, Baha?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Does it not? If it doesn't make sense, I want to...
No, it's based as hell.
It makes sense, but it gets into... It's a lot more complicated than I think you're letting on than just...
Okay, how is it more complicated? How is it more complicated?
Listen, don't try to save face. Prime is correct. Just say yes and shut your hole.
Baha.
Well, I
why is
didn't
it more
say he
complicated?
was exactly
don't worry,
incorrect. I just think there's more minutia.
Yeah.
there,
Why is it more? What am I missing? Please.
Yeah,
well, I mean, I
what's he
could look
missing?
into specifically what behaviors and what exact actions they could take that would force these people to act in the way that you want them to. I'd have to look into that. So I can do that for you if you want. Like I could look into like what has been done in the past to kind of do the same effect that you're trying to get here.
Yeah. Look up the Freedom Caucus. They were the perfect example of this. The House Freedom Caucus. They will literally just block everything, just whatever, right? And then look at the news coverage of the Freedom Caucus and how they talked about them. Maybe President Obama can get this too, but he has to deal with the Freedom Caucus in the House, right? Why? Because they'll shut down the government. They don't give a shit. It doesn't matter to them.
Yeah, but Prime, the Republicans controlled the House and the Senate. Like it wasn't just like one subset.
And the Senate. We control the House and the Senate.
No, I'm talking about under Obama.
Yeah, and we control the House and Senate now. So I don't know what your point is.
Well, yeah, we control the House and the Senate by very slim majorities.
That's fine. That's fine.
That's not really fine.
Yes, it is. If you can't get it passed without the votes of the Democrats. In fact, it works for in the favor. And the fact that in the House and in the democratically controlled House, we lost seats. It actually works in the favor of the progressives because the progressives are all still there, right? So the progressives are still there. There's a slimmer majority, right? So to get things passed, Nancy Pelosi, if she can't get Republican votes for it, she has to come to progressive votes, to the progressive, Justice Democrats, the Justice Democrat crew, right? They have to vote for it for many cases, right? So if she can't get them on board, then that's a problem. So that's when you make noise. Again, for must-pass bills any which way. You can't do this every time. For must-pass bills, like the COVID-19 relief bill, this is the time to make noise. If they need your votes, then they will listen to you. That's
Speaking of making noise, didn't Bernie Sanders just come out and say, "I hear you. I'm going to push, definitively for a $15 minimum wage"?
Yes.
Yeah, he can say that, but
late. I don't know what's going on, but
sure.
Hopefully he does
like this is the issue.
The problem with what you're saying is that that's been sort of in the works, and AOC actually lost. I think she was running for a big House committee seat, and she ended up losing that seat. So saying that progressives are gonna hold this massive weight in the Democratic Party, especially in the House, I don't think
what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything with what I'm talking about? That has nothing to do with anything what I just said.
Well, what you just said was that progressive now have some power in the House because they lost
some power, not all power.
Sure, but I'm just saying that AOC going against the leadership basically cost her a committee seat.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter for this, right? That doesn't. What you said has nothing to do with what I just said. Because if you need us, because this is a general House vote, House representative vote. So when the bill comes back, in case you don't know how you pass a bill, it goes through the House, right? You make a proposal in the House, and you make a proposal in the Senate, right? They both vote on these bills, and then you have to make this bills match. There's a word for this. You know what I'm talking about, Kyo-san? When you merge the bills, what's the name for that?
I have no idea. I'm sorry.
Okay, whatever. It's fine.
I'm too bad Maul to get chat about the
it's fine.
who just started the minimum wage.
It doesn't matter. So you have to merge the bills. And then they have to vote again. Okay? So the House already passed the COVID-19 bill. The Senate is working on passing the COVID-19 bill without the $15 minimum wage. Then you have to merge the bill. And then they have to vote on it again on the new bill, right? The singular bill. They have to vote on it again. If the Senate sends back a bill without COVID-19, right? If that's the final bill to be passed, then at that point, in that general House vote, it doesn't fucking matter with who holds what seats. And that general House vote, that's when the progressives can make some noise. That's the time, right? If you need their votes, then you could say, I'm not going to vote for this unless it has $15 minimum wage or whatever else you want. That's
what
how you
happens
get
if they
things
just don't pass it, then, if they don't vote for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say. No, I was gonna say that's fine. They can do that, but again, like they're gonna have to face the consequences of that, like AOC did with losing out on a committee seat.
Just like, yes, I know, yes, but that's a separate thing. I'm talking about getting this through. That you're talking about something separate. That's another conversation, and we're not having it right now.
He brought that up to say that. What if the bill fails? He brought that up to say, what if the bill fails?
Okay, yes. Well, if the bill fails, then they'll have to do it again. Because why? It's a must-pass bill. Just like if the defense appropriations bill fails, right? It has to pass. It must pass, right? And so you have to renegotiate again. That's why, that's why we had those shutdowns. Those shutdowns I mentioned before, right? Those were must-pass bills. And what happened? They didn't pass. We had a government shutdown.
What makes you think they won't just change it? And why wouldn't the easier solution to help people be to then make it something that can pass easily instead of something that would appease the progressives?
Sorry,
just like really quick.
Oh my god, there's too many things to say here. Like you keep
I'm just
jumping
sorry,
in.
really quick.
Holy shit.
Okay, hold on. So can we just back up for 1 second? Because the majority of people support this new COVID stimulus bill. So I don't think it would look good on the progressive caucus right now.
AOC. Sorry, you're doing like a separate thing right now, and I just can't right now. So I just I'm doing one at a time. It's too many things here.
Put your reverse in reverse.
So okay, one at a time. Can you repeat your point, Baha?
So when you say that it's a must-pass bill, it has to come up again, right? I agree with you.
Yeah.
But what makes you think that they would then come to the conclusion to give in to the progressive side and give them what they want in order to get the bill passed?
Because they need their votes, and they'll have to be. Right now, they're not part of the negotiations.
Okay, fair.
Right?
I wasn't assuming that you thought this, but I
sure.
guess you assume that there's just a chance that this would never come out, that this would just be pushed back like for so long that it would just be terrible.
I don't understand what you said. What would never come out? Could you explain that?
The bill would just never come out. I think it would just be stuck in legislation and it would never materialize if we go with the route that you're saying. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they're capable of pushing that shit back until just no one is helped at all. And I think that's a terrible.
I think. Again, from a must-pass bill from Biden's perspective, this bill has to go. If it doesn't, then he's murdering his presidency right this moment, right? Can we agree on that? If we can't agree on that, then this is kind of all
absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, great. So he has to pass this. It absolutely must happen. He needs to go to the negotiating table with the parties that are in the way. Whatever roadblocks are in the way need to be overcome, one way or the other. Right? If Manchin's a roadblock, then Manchin gets what he fucking wants. If the progressives are roadblocks, then you'll have to deal with them as well. Right?
Okay, yeah. So I understand your point completely now. I just totally disagree, and I think that would just lead to no bill being passed, and then Biden will just throw his presidency, which is a net loss to America.
How would
there
we
just disagree on if that would happen?
How would there be hold on 1 second. Now,
1 second.
I mean, he's throwing his presidency already.
How would no bill? What? How would no bill be passed? How would no bill?
They just wouldn't pass it based on the thin margin that they have in the Senate. They know that it's a contentious bill. They're not gonna. I just don't believe that they're gonna give in to progressive. What?
I want to be very clear as to what you're talking about. Who are they aren't going to pass it?
I don't think the House or the Senate are gonna pass a bill that will be able to be made into reality if they give in to the progressive blocs, like whatever they want for the bill in order to vote for it. I don't think it would ever come out.
So the House already voted for a bill that included $15 minimum wage. So that's
yes, and I'm saying if in your world where you're saying the progressives then block the bill and they have to repass it, I just don't think it'll come into a place where it'll ever get passed.
You understand that also it's not just Biden's head on the block, right? Also, many of them will face political consequences if this doesn't pass, right? Like many of the House members, Nancy Pelosi herself, right? Like if she wants to keep her job as Senate Majority Leader, she said she's going to give it up soon, but I don't believe her. But if she wants to, the Speaker of the House, if she wants to keep her job as the Speaker of the House, then this needs to pass. If Chuck Schumer wants to be still have the Senate in 2 years, then this needs to pass, right?
I also agree with that. I agree with that. But the people that were voting or not voting, were saying they're not going to vote for the bill, will also be hurt as a consequence.
Only if it doesn't pass. Only if this doesn't pass, but it will pass because it's a must-pass bill.
Most likely it's going to pass.
Okay, but let's say that this bill wasn't going to pass, and the reason why was because the progressives were holding it back.
Wait,
it
why
would
are we
look
doing
bad.
No, but it's going to
But
pass.
we're going with the scenario that you're
it's gonna
setting.
pass.
You're going
So,
with that
so
scenario.
what's the point in
I'm
discussing
saying
what ifs?
That's what
I'm saying under this hypothetical, if the progressives wanted to flex their muscle, right, and they wanted to say, hey, we're not going to vote on this bill unless you guys put the $15 minimum wage in it, okay? And the COVID stimulus bill is pretty popular now with the American population, okay?
Yeah, sure.
So it would look bad on them if they were the ones holding it back, would it not?
Yes, but that's okay. If that was the case, then that's the political risk involved. Like everything comes with a risk.
That's why I go back to my point again, saying that I believe that risk is not gonna land in the way that you believe it. That's all I'm trying to say.
All right, then that's our disagreement. Then that's fair. That's where we disagree.
I think that the majority of Democrats would probably rather pass the bill that got held up with the $15 minimum wage than just not pass any bill. I think that's a fair thing to say, for sure.
You mean with the wage removed or with the wage intact?
With it intact. Is that what you're saying?
With it intact. They would much rather just pass that bill than they would pass no bill at all.
They've been fighting incredibly hard to make sure that $15 minimum wage goes through at like every single step. Like they were fighting with the parliamentarians this week. They were fighting to get it back into the House bill.
Yeah.
They were fighting to get it through the Senate, right? Like Biden actually seems like really getting behind making sure that this $15 minimum wage passes.
That part I
I have
disagree.
no idea.
Wait, I'm gonna say, this like completely
we have
conflicts.
Congress here, all right?
Sorry, you want to say something, Baha?
I thought that completely conflicts with the idea that Biden. I thought the general idea was that Biden is not in favor of the $15 minimum wage.
So
I thought that's.
So that's my perspective on it, right? Kyo-san has a different perspective, but my perspective is that he's not actually fighting hard for this. That he could be doing much more, and this is indicative of the fact that he actually doesn't give a shit in the first place. That's my opinion. Kyo-san might have a different opinion on that, but
he campaigned on and seems to be doing every action possible
No,
outside of like obviously like walking on the floor, but he has like
He's
other
not.
shit to do as
He's
well.
not.
He's literally the president of the United States.
Well, hold on. Okay. All right. Well, all right. So we're gonna have to fight about that some other time.
All right.
But you want to say something, Nico?
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think that's the case. So earlier we were talking about unions, right? Like I don't know if you guys saw, but Biden came out in favor of supporting the union in Alabama for Amazon.
No, he never specifically actually supported that union, by the way.
All he did was say some words. I want actions. Oh,
good.
thank you. One second. One quick
Biden
second.
is a Republican
Supreme.
in all but
Hold
name.
on. 1 second.
No,
Hold on.
he's
Everyone,
not. What
shut
the
up.
fuck?
Oh my God. Hold on. Shut up for a second. Everyone, shut up for a second. Supreme, thank you so much, everyone. Supreme, thank you for the raid. That's awfully kind of you. Look at Supreme coming in with 34 raiders. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Everyone, go check out Supreme. Click on that link. To my audience members, we're talking about the $15 minimum wage increase that's being removed from the Senate bill right now. The whole fight about that's what we're discussing right this moment with members of my audience who've walked in, and we've been yelling at each other for like 2 hours about this. It's fun. But if that interests you, this is an open panel where people get to talk about these things. If that interests you, do me a favor, hit that follow button, hit that notification bell so you know I'm going to go live. Thank you all for being here. That's awfully kind of you, Supreme. Okay. Back to it. So someone said something to me. Oh, you were arguing with Tiffany about something? I don't know.
I was.
Oh, yeah.
Saying something really dumb, but I can't remember what it was.
You said that Biden's a Republican.
Oh,
yeah.
No, he's a Republican in all but party name. Yeah.
How? Like all he's done in office is like coming and passing incredible progressive
policies. You mean
policies.
the guy that is like continuing like kids in cages? The guy that
No, he's not. That is completely wrong. That is completely wrong.
No. He reunited some people, but there's still like people in cages down south.
Do you think it happens
it's kids in trailers now? It's so much better now.
Wait, so much better? Wait.
In cages? Yeah, I would say it's better than in cages. It's not. When you say kids in cages,
also,
that implies a lot
you
more
do realize that like
happening.
Biden is still like racist, right?
What are you
talking
about?
Let's stay on the first one. Let's stay on the kids.
Really?
What are you talking
about? No, Biden's fucking past.
What about Biden's past? What's specific?
Biden's past is still coursing through him. The whole fucking racism shit.
You don't think it's possible
dementia is
for
so
people
bad
to change their views over time?
Really?
Tiffany, why do you say that he's racist?
You think
I'm just
like
curious.
the fucking corporate hack who's like taking in shit and is saying stupid stuff
Why
like,
is he racist?
if you
I'm just
ain't
curious.
voting for me, you ain't black. Like,
okay.
literally, like, what?
That's pretty cringe. I can't
Not
lie,
even
but
a
it's-
year
It was
ago?
cringe, but it was based.
He misspoke,
It wasn't
Omegalo.
based.
He
No,
misspoke.
he didn't misspeak.
Wait,
It was a
who's
reference
the
to it was
idiot
a
that
reference
just?
to a bit from the show.
Who's?
It was a reference to a bit from the show to show like, hey, I watch your show. I'm a part of your culture. It was cringe. It was bad. It was terrible. He shouldn't have done it. But
It was not
wasn't
a
like a
bit.
racist
And
thing.
who is the guy that just closed
Do you
his
just say
thing
like a
when he
no? Is that like your answer to
realized-
everything?
He misspoke, Omegalo. No, actually, serious though. What has Biden said that is actually racist? Like, I would like to know.
Goalhead, I can see you in
literally
chat, you
said
motherfucker. If you want to come in and debate me about the crime bill, we can do it right fucking now.
Crime.
It's an open room. Let's go.
Kyo-san,
Listen,
I
can't
fucking
talk
love
to
you.
the
I
guy
fucking love you.
up like at the top because it looks like he asked his like mom out to like prom. So
Is this
I
me?
feel like
Or is this?
That
Yo,
was
what the
lame.
fuck?
Okay.
That was a bad insult.
Wait, is
What?
this me, Tiffany? Are you talking about me?
Wait,
No,
do you want to debate incest right now?
Oh god.
wait, do you want to debate incest?
Okay.
Yeah, sure. What's your opinions
No,
on
we're
incest?
talking about $15 minimum wage.
Okay.
Right?
No, we're talking about
I'm not-
Biden's racism and kids in
Listen,
cages.
Prime, I came in here late, so you have to help me. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah. You're also quite drunk.
No, I'm not. I'm not that drunk.
You're a
I'm
little
tipsy
drunk.
enough,
You're a little
so.
toasted. But okay. So let's go to did anyone else have anything to say on anything else that we were talking
I just have a quick question.
Please.
Am I the person that looks like I asked my mom to prom?
Or is it me? Is it me?
Okay,
I'm
okay,
curious.
okay, okay. Then it's all good.
Kyo-san, yeah, I fucking love you. You're great. Like I love talking to Kyo-san. Even if I'm on the other side of issue with him, I love arguing with him. You're a really tough fight every time. It's a tough fight against you. You've like pushed me to my limits. But all right. So I guess that was it. I guess we.
No, actually, I can still go on that. I just want to say, like, it doesn't make sense. So you said that you think that Biden, the reason why he's not pushing.
I think that like $15 minimum wage is based, and it was based on a lot of studies that were like hold on, let me look it up because
Isn't it being $15 the result of it not being means tested at all?
Go ahead.
Wasn't able to finish my.
Go ahead. Finish your point, please.
No, I was just gonna say. So Prime, you think the reason why Biden's not pushing for it is because he's actually not on board with a $15 minimum wage?
I would say that he has yet to give me proof that he is.
Okay.
I can't look into this man's heart, but like everything about his career tells me that he doesn't really care. Now, if he shows me otherwise, if he does actions to make this happen, if he doesn't fucking roll over because of Joe Manchin and the Senate fucking parliamentarian, if he doesn't roll over, if he actually puts up a fight.
Or Larry Summers, by the way.
I think it is fair to say
the worst economic advisor in the history of the world.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Okay. I genuinely think that Biden is on board with a $15 minimum wage. I just think Biden knows where to pick his battles.
How is this not a battle to pick? How is this not a battle
because
to pick?
this would be halting the COVID stimulus, though.
Why would
because
Manchin doesn't care about the minimum
then that
wage.
means
That's
Manchin's the president. Okay, then why doesn't Biden just evacuate the White House right now? Because now Manchin's the president. Because now I guess Manchin says
These
so.
are just the processes.
But Prime, this is
lots of senators want different things.
Prime,
lots of senators want different things. They have different priorities, right?
Yeah,
but they have different powers.
If this is a priority up. Obviously, if this is a priority of the president, right, then he can put muscle behind it. There are lots of ways. There are carrots and there are sticks he can use, right?
Muscle by doing what, though? What can he do specifically?
Holy shit, dude. I literally, for an hour, I talked about what he could do. So if you didn't hear that, I don't know what to tell you. But beyond all the things that are...
hear. I'm just saying, like...
Nico, I've already talked about it. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I literally just went over this. But in addition to all the things I already talked about, he can offer him carrots, right? So he can say... So we can go down two ways. Either I go into your state and tell them how much of a fuckhead you are, like blocking all this, or I can go to your state and talk about like, here, look at this factory that Joe Manchin twisted my arm to make sure we put in West Virginia, right? This new factory that wasn't going to go up before. I put money in there, and now we got jobs, right? There are sticks you can, carrots you can offer. You can, if you want something, you want some sort of pork, is what they would call some rider to the bill. That's something you can offer him, saying this is what you'll get if you go along with me. That's how politics works. That's how
it just doesn't make sense when we have a 50, like we're hanging on the thread of Kamala Harris, and then even then, like we're still struggling to get this COVID stimulus passed.
Okay.
It just doesn't make sense to die in this hill of like fighting over adding this to the bill.
So all right, I can't make this make sense for you.
No, I actually hate poor people.
So yeah, I can't make this make sense for you, Nico. So that's fine. Okay.
No, Prime.
I don't care. I don't care. I can't make this make sense for you. So that's fine. Yeah. Anything else on this topic? Okay then. So moving on. Okay. Really appreciate everyone showing up. There's nothing else to be discussed on this topic. I am going to raid a friend. But who am I gonna raid? I don't even know who that is right now. Okay, I know who I'm gonna raid. Guys, come back tomorrow. We're gonna have the all black everything roundtable. It's gonna be great. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Prime.
Yeah.
Prime, that was super fun. I always love it when you get like really involved in these things.
Oh yeah, because I usually don't.
I just wanted to say one thing. Pepe wins, and good night, everyone.
Okay, sure. Good night. Yeah. So yeah, but we'll have the all black everything panel tomorrow. It's gonna be a lot of fun. So please come back, everyone, for that. And we'll have another open panel afterwards. We can yell at each other about this or anything else you guys want to yell at, talk about.
Wait, are you allowed on the all black panel if you didn't vote for Biden?
Oh, there you go.
Got him.
Yeah, but we are gonna rate our good friend Mr. Geek. If you haven't followed the channel yet, please give the channel a follow. But yeah, we're gonna our friend Mr. Geek, and yeah, we'll come back on. Thanks a lot for being here. This was a fun day. So I'm just stalling until the timer counts down, and it's